Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around this circle. Never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell
Patrick, vous n'avez pas perdu la main. Est-ce que vous pouvez couper on va regarder un film sur la...
Hi, everybody.
And welcome back.
Hi.
Yet another noise pollution. Okay, if you're on Rumble, say something in Rumble chat. It helps my metrics. Hit that repost on Rumble. Repost button on Rumble. That helps my metrics as well. And besides that, if you're anywhere, say something in chat. It makes the show better for the other chatters, for us here, because this is about community. And if you don't like what you see and you don't like what you hear, go away. It's not hard. It's super easy.
Yeah, it's like the what is that group of people? Oh yeah, like the Jehovah's Witnesses that used to go around to everybody's house back in the day.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
No.
I kind of miss
I guess it got
people would fuck with them hard. I mean, they'd be like, smile, Satan loves you, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
They'd answer the door with no clothes on. Maybe they're fucking when they answer the door.
I guess it's dangerous for them. In all honesty.
To a certain degree. I mean, I really was annoyed by them, but I was rather having fun. I always thought of something new to mess with them. And my favorite is when I invited them in and just tear them a new one with words. They didn't like that. They left on their own.
My place, I have a sign that says, "Like a good neighbor, stay over there." And once had a preacher come to my place and turn around and leave, and I was like, somebody's in my fucking yard. I want to know what's going on. So I jumped in the vehicle and hunted them down and demanded to know why the hell they were on my property. And they're like just going, "Oh, we want to invite you to church," and then the man was like gonna shit himself. He was scared just so bad, right?
I'm sorry, that's glorious.
Yeah. We don't do well with other people, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people is like, noise, just quit. Noise don't have no panel. Everybody didn't go, fuck that guy. I kind of went, I need a break. I backed off.
Yeah.
I need a break. It's not a fuck you to anyone. It's not anything like that. It's not like, oh, I'm the big loser now. It's not like that. I just needed a break. That's it's that simple.
Don't
Yeah.
we all? I mean, last week, Rhoda and me, we didn't have a show. Rhoda needed a break. It was a stressful week for him, and
Mhm.
I wasn't in a good mood either. So why not take a break?
Mhm. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so welcome Midnight Ladybug. Midnight Melody Bug. And here it's Midnight Ladybug. Damn, pick a name. Come on. And we have Charlie Nuclear.
Hey,
Hi,
And
Charlie.
Charlie.
then we have we have Lilith just spazzing all over the chat, just spazzing the fuck out.
It's my job.
Did everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, no, I had a good Thanksgiving. Got stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, you get stuff like you eat the turkey, you become the turkey.
Your stuff is
Imagine if they had a purge day right after Thanksgiving where everybody's fat and sluggish.
Oh, oh, the horror.
that sounds like a feast. There will be feasts, and after the feast, you will lie on the couch, not be able to move, and breathe
Yeah.
heavily, and then fall asleep.
So I know there's some people out there watching that's not saying anything. Talk to us, we'll talk back to you. I mean, it kind of works that way. It's funny like that. But it's like, no, fuck you. I just got it on for noise. Yeah, I'm noise. Yeah, talk.
We are not snobs. I mean, we are the exact opposite of snobs.
Where's
I
the
don't know. I
photo?
mean, maybe they're all scared of a little Austrian girl.
Yeah. Charlie isn't.
Oh, that's
It's you, the Lord,
bad.
is born.
Can't say I ever had my
How
hot
does-
water heat freeze before.
How does that happen? Because it keeps a reservoir of already preheated water, or your typical one does. So how does that happen?
Maybe the power went out and it froze then?
Oh, yeah. Now, if the power goes out and it gets cold enough, the hot water heater can freeze.
Oh, the
Oh, that's
funny thing is,
bad.
it depends. It
Yeah,
depends
and
on the
a word of
temperature.
advice to everybody out there: if your power, no, rather, let me rephrase that. If your water goes out, make sure to flip the breaker to turn your hot water heater off, or it will burn up.
Oh, yeah.
It will be trying to heat water when it doesn't have a water flow.
Mm-hmm. You
Ooh,
got to
I
turn
didn't know
the
that.
hot water breaker off.
Well, then
Oh.
again, since 2019, I don't use it
Says I'm
anymore.
playing
Water.
Baldur's Gate 3 with my half-naked Shadow Heart, so I'm listening indeed. Yeah, okay. In that game, I own that game. I played a bit of it, not crazy amount, but a bit of it. You can like take their underwear off and put it on, and I believe you could put their underwear on the other ones too.
I can run around butt naked and stuff like that.
Lizelle, that frog toad looking woman. Ew. I know you some nasty stuff, but really?
At least he didn't
kinda
touch
like-
the bear.
Okay, yeah, the bear that was a surprise. I was like, no, why? Don't do it with the bear. You gross. I saw it in the video. I didn't do it myself.
Yeah. As Charlie Nuclear says, or if you find it, shake it in no water slosh, flip the breaker off. Yeah. I mean, it constantly heats, so if it doesn't have water, it's gonna burn itself up. And that's an expensive replacement, which probably be easier to replace it rather than repair it, and it's an expensive replacement.
Oh yeah, it really is.
Them fucking things are heavy too. I mean, I've picked up, some of those like 50 to 100 gallon ones, heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You know what I always kind of wanted to do? I always wanted to see if I could make one blow up like a rocket. Like a Mythbusters.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
can't help it. I always wanted to see if it would work
Well,
if I could do it.
I'm no rocket scientist, but I would imagine it would help if it was reinforced because I think it's just made of primarily aluminum and copper, soft
Mhm.
metals, and in order for it to blast off more properly, it would need to be reinforced. Of course, that would add to the weight, but that when it is propelled, that weight will continuously propel it, providing it's done correctly.
Okay, I have a project now. I'm gonna see if I can. I got to
Well,
try.
also the way that your typical hot water heater is shaped is cylindrical, like a cylinder and flat on the top.
Oh my
Rather
God! I
bigger.
see. I had a vision of Elijah's tombstone. Elijah, and then I gotta try. She tried. I'm sorry. I just saw it.
Yeah, tombstone it'll say she was curious, too curious.
Yeah.
And then the quote, I gotta try. Oh, that's funny.
So
Yes,
okay. So
No,
basically,
reminds me when I was a kid, and you had these spray paint cans, and I think it was an axe, and I was just chopping them right, but they'd usually just pop or fizzle. But this one went kaboom, like in my face, and knocked me backwards, and I felt the ball bearing ping off of me.
Damn. I always use them to burn the ants. You use a hair sprayer, you face the fire, make a baby flamethrower.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
burn the ants.
Yeah, I didn't do this, but I know someone that stabbed a paint can and then lit on fire while it was spinning. I don't know why they did it.
Oh,
I don't know how they didn't
Because
burn anything down, but
What was it? Your brother or cousin?
cousin.
he
Oh,
is
such
such
a
an
dumb fuck.
idiot.
Such
Oh,
a
yeah.
dumb fuck.
He is such
Listen,
an
listen,
idiot.
listen. We know this person he speaks of, and you would have to strive hard to be a bigger dumb fuck than this dumb fuck.
And I think this was back before he was even a teenager, but still.
Well,
was
here's
his
the
getting
name
better.
Homer?
here's the thing. The person that we're talking about makes all the dumb fucks look like geniuses. Yeah,
So
he's
he's the
that
king of dumb fuck?
dumb.
He's one of these. He's in his 30s now, or close to it, right?
Yeah, he's in his 30s.
And he still uses the Gen Z teenage slang, like that. That's so beast and what the fuck else? Fam and gang and boss and it's like you're not a baby. Knock that shit off. And oh yeah, that's fire. That's so fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look. I know I sound like an old fucker. I am, but I've stated this before. I've watched so much slang come and go. Valley Girl speak of the 80s. I remember when Beatnik and Hippie talk, right? And the Valley Girl talk. And the Jive talk, right? I've seen so many of these come and go. And a few years pass and everybody laughs their ass off at the way they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a trend. There's a trend here.
Yeah. But the thing is all the people that's younger than he is looks at him like he is just incredibly stupid for talking like that because they're younger than he is, and they're looking at him as a old
I've been in
creep
these in crowds. I've been the popular one in crowds when I was younger. Here's what I noticed. First of all, that if you don't go perfectly along with them, they forget you and turn on you quick. Secondly, if you hit 25 or older, you're an old fuck to them.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, it's true.
I wouldn't know that because the in-crowd bullshit time I had, I was a teenager, like end of middle school and part of high school, and then I quit high school and I got married, and then there was just the friend group and the husband, and it was chilling at home. There were home parties. There was weed and stuff like that. Sure, going out, making party, making dances, stuff like that. But it was a group of trusted friends, so there was no in-crowd bullshit anymore. So I wouldn't know that you would be an old fuck in your mid-20s. That's new to me, but good
Well,
to
you
know,
know,
I
the funny
guess.
thing with me is I grew up and I was always the runt, the wimp. And then I went out amongst other people in different places, and I'm like, I thought I was a fucking weakling. I'm Hercules compared to all these fuckers. How'd this happen? You know, and I guess it's just my family, right? They're like insanely strong, and I'm the biggest wimp amongst them. But compared to your average person, I'm a lot stronger than them, so it's kind of screwy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Bloodlines are different, and I think you have just good warrior blood in your bloodline. I mean,
Probably.
bit nasty people, I need to admit, but strong people,
Hmm.
that's for sure. I mean, my family side on my mother's side is also more on the stronger side, but I mean, I'm the most tiny person in generations. The only one that came close was my great grandmother. She also was tiny. But
Well,
But
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
not comparable, not comparable.
I
In-
can relate because I'm small for a man, you know. But that's why people are so surprised. They're like, "Damn, for your size, I never imagined." It's I've heard that so much. It's like they're like, "Oh, you're as strong as four people," and I'm like, "Seriously?" You know, and I'd be half their size.
Well, it's a good thing to have. It is. People will be surprised. You have an inbuilt surprise mode. Surprise, motherfucker! Seriously, people don't recognize, especially if you're very small. People think you can do shit, and then they make the big eyes, like cookie eyes. And in a real situation, this advantage can mean much. This
well, it's
let's
kind
say
of like
surprise.
people. People. A lot of people don't think small dogs can do any damage. That's just not true. That's just not true. There's a lot of small dogs. I'm not talking about Chihuahuas or anything, but there's a lot of small breeds like that can fuck you up, and they will. I mean, they don't know. The thing is they don't know they're small. They don't care that they're small. It's just a matter of what they will do.
I was just
Same
Mm,
thing with
noticing
the
this
cat.
StreamYard isn't showing me all of the Rumble comments. So if I miss any, that's why. You know, on StreamYard, you're streaming, right? You got this panel to your side that's supposed to show you every chat that you're streaming to.
Hmm.
It sucks sometimes.
the last
Yeah,
comment is from Midnight Melody Bug, and those are the radiation keys. If my eyes don't betray me, I mean, I need to sit up and see what it really is. Yeah, it's a radiation kitty. Yeah, there's an issue. My eyes are getting shit with age.
hmm
I can still read the chat when I'm leaning back, but some details I cannot make out for real anymore. It's a bit blurry.
getting old stinks. It
Yeah,
really stinks.
I don't want to get glasses. I don't want to. Also, actually, they're expensive, kind of.
Oh
Oh
I
yeah,
yes,
mean,
they are very expensive.
at least a
it's
hundred.
yeah, at least $100. I mean, I cannot pull fucking $100 out of my butt. I'm always behind with monies.
I mean, why would 100 be up your butt in the first place?
Yeah, I
I
hide
knew
it
it was
there so no
coming.
one can get it. That's my piggy bank.
Well, the thing is if anybody was willing to go that
Hey,
far to
Phoenix,
get
you need to
the
quit
money,
teaching your tricks to other people.
oh,
That's not my trait.
Phoenix,
He told me in private.
Oh, not my
They,
trait.
Sorry.
Okay, who taught you then?
No. I've never done it, and I never will.
Oh, he just don't want to say. Okay, maybe it was
It's like that old joke, right? It's like that old joke that goes, "Oh, I went to this wild party and they were doing all this weird sexual stuff. They had like screwdrivers and what's that thing that you fix the toilet with?" And the person goes, "Plunger," and you go, "Oh, you've been to that party."
Okay, you can do really stupid stuff with plungers. Let me tell you that.
Or the kind of a meme amongst the internet is use a plunger on a bald woman, so because you don't have their hair to pull, just put that plunger on there. And
I didn't know that one. Put those plunger issues. No, I made plunger boobies and it got stuck. That was very hard.
imagine a plunger blowjob, you'd be like,
Who?
Oh no!
if she starts
oh,
to
no.
bite, you can just pull her away real quick.
Oh no! The people, they would make the butt plunge.
Damn, now I got thoughts of two women with the stick end up their butts, but the cup ends together. That's
Ew. What is wrong with you? Ew.
And then they're like they're going trying to pull away from each other like hung dogs.
Ew.
Tell everybody.
There is
Oh,
something.
okay. Look. We have a demand. Guess what? The snatch is back in service.
Charlie, you showed up at a very opportune moment.
Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it is better this way. We hurt each other with the things we want to say. We could have been so good together. We could have lived this dance forever. But now who's gonna dance with me?
Are you not entertained?
Oh, good Lord.
Good song choice.
Oh boy! The music really
so,
surprised me.
Yeah, we are monetized on both Rumble and YouTube, and all the usual ways. If you're so inclined, you can help us out like that, and don't be like squirting all over the channel. That's just wrong. I also have donation links in case those methods don't work out for you. And I kind of fixed another clip, like if I get a good healthy donation, right, super chat, sticker, memberships, whatever, right, I got this is like a little more than half a minute.
Hey boy, drop them pants. Got one dirty dance. Don't use your polite face. Get down to my taste. Eat my crack from the back. Lick it deeper, don't hold back. I want you lower on your knees. Come on, baby, say please. Bent over, skirt up high. Spread my thighs on mine. Don't waste no time, babe. Eat that treat. Behave, eat my crack.
What the fuck? So with the music. Good choice. Good choice.
Oh.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the first topic or issue. I like to call them issues. I have an issue with every goddamn thing in this world, and everything has an
Makes
issue
sense.
with me. So Here we go. An entire PS5 now costs less than 64 gigs of DDR5 memory. Even after discount, simple memory kit jumps to 600 due to DRAM shortage and is expected to get worse in 2026. Now, a lot of you would be like, well, fuck computers. I use consoles. Guess what? They use that memory too. This is going to get for SSD hard drives, for memory, as in RAM. Anything and everything's going to get more expensive as a result of AI popularity. So, yeah, thanks to the AI boom devouring the majority of the world's memory and storage supply, end consumers are now facing increasingly inflated prices for common components. DDR5 RAM, a necessity for building current gen Intel or AMD systems, has now reached a record high in terms of pricing. A 64 gig kit of G Skill Trident Z5, blah, blah, blah. That RAM is now listed at 600, well, 599.99. They're saving you a penny. Anyway, on Newegg, right now, that's 200 more than a PS Slim or Microsoft Xbox Series S, or just 50 shy off from an entire PS5 Pro at the moment. Guess what? But, as I just said, all those consoles, they're going to jump in price too. It's not going to save you.
Okay, my first thought is what's up with the new Steam box, the GameCube? Will that then be the only option being affordable? I mean,
no, its price will have to jump up as well because everything uses RAM memory or however you.
Yeah, I heard you, and that's scary because shit is already very, very expensive. I mean, back then when people were farming the Bitcoin, the graphic cards skyrocketed in price.
The thing is, it's not just RAM or memory, however you're familiar with it, right? It's also video cards. It's also hard drives, SSD, solid state drives. This is going to affect basically any and all. It's going to affect phones. Everything's going to jump up in price. And you want to know why? Because everybody's jumping on that fucking AI, trend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, USA needs a RAM factory. Absolutely. USA needs to start making things again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. At the moment, 60% of all of this stuff is made in Taiwan, and that's a very dangerous thing to have because China once invaded, and the USA wouldn't let it. So that's a cinder block for a big war waiting to explode. But it can be avoided when the USA produces their shit themselves. They wouldn't have an issue or a need to interfere anymore, which is bad for Taiwan, but it's good for the world climate of not having a fat war where the biggest and strongest dogs fucking start fighting.
Okay, so I'm going to read a bit more here. For context, a more exclusive 64 gig limited edition Corsair Dominator titanium kit. That was a mouthful. They can't just keep their name simple. But anyway, cost only $349 when we reviewed it a few months ago. Earlier this year, we posted a DDR5 deals on Prime Day where the standard edition of the same kit was just $299, and you get other comparable 64 gig kits for as low as $140. A quick glance at tracking prices in this Trident kit, regularly set at $205 to $220. It was only in late October that it got more expensive, and then September it was listed at $220. Now it's $640, from $220 to $640 in a matter of a couple months.
Oh boy.
Okay, so these things have went as much as high as 350% higher.
That's really bad. Oh, that's so bad. I mean, I have issues with my rig at the moment. My PC is getting old. I have no monies to upgrade it, and now I can't afford any shit because it's even more expensive. Come on. I mean, there's this new game I really like, but it lags because my fucking PC is actually too weak. I can play it, but I can't play it fluid, which really pisses me off.
Well, as it
Um,
says here, you can blame AI. The surge in demand for AI projects will see production lines prioritizing serving AI clients, leaving consumers to pay through the nose and make the best of what they have. Experts speculate that both DRAM and NAND constraints will become normal throughout 2026 as big tech looks to pursue AGI. So yeah, it's because everybody's going, now we're doing AI, now we're an AI company, and now these software users like, you can't do it anymore. Tell AI what you want, and it sucks. Your AI sucks. It's not ready for that. It can't do what I can do.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm, mm. That's so true. I mean, which concerns me that there is an actual like a Cold War situation between China and the USA about the development of AGI, and because they are in such steep competition, the USA is leading, but the Chinese try to catch up. So the USA cannot stop making strides forward. They again have a stranglehold on stupid shit end of the day, and it's very concerning and stupid. And of course, who will suffer? Mm.
Well,
So So it says, in the meantime, hard drives are vanishing from store shelves to the point where micro SD cards are serving as a feasible replacement, and they are not. You gotta measure the speed difference. Like a SSD drive is like 100 or 400 times faster. Read up on it. So large capacity nearline HDDs, which is the old physical thicker hard drives, are back ordered for 2 years. As a result, which QLC SSDs are now being swept up at alarming rates. So everybody's out there buying all the storage because the storage is also, like quadrupling in price. So it means you probably won't be able to get any because everybody's grabbing it up.
It's like the toilet paper in COVID.
well, here's my thing. Um, way they have marketed everything now, it lasts about 2 years and then you have to replace it. So because it won't work anymore. So my issue with all this is what in the hell are people going to do? Because if their shit breaks, some of that stuff they have to have. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, not only is it skyrocketing, like near quadrupling in price, like 400, 350 actually percent more expensive, and it'll probably keep rising. Not only that, but people are buying up in bulk, hoarding it. So that means there's going to be a real tech shortage. This is not just computers. This is game consoles, phones. This technology goes into everything of that sort, and it means there's going to start being shortages appearing in more and more places. So it says even Valve upcoming Steam machine will end up costing more than expected due to the production window of the device aligning with the DRAM crisis.
well, I had another thought too. This isn't going to stop with just game systems and computers and stuff like that. This is going to bleed over into
Didn't I
stuff
just
like,
say that?
yeah, I know. But what I mean is it's going to bleed over into things that hospitals require to function,
Oh yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if I have that in another article, or I did read that. Yes. This. Oh, I'm thinking. Actually, what I read was about ISPs. There's another article I have about ISPs having a legal battle with pirates, and the argument is going, if they start kicking customers off, they will have to kick off entire hospital wings and more like that. If we can manage, we'll get around to that article. But you're right. This will also affect corporate and government. They're gonna need computerized devices, and it's simply not gonna be there.
I mean,
Yeah.
even fucking restaurants, even in private restaurants and McDonald's and shit like that, they also have everything now computerized. I mean, the times where you just as a waiter write it on the paper and bring it to the kitchen are long over. So they need it too. That there's a total collapse of so many sectors, not only the private ones. That this is
Yeah.
really bad news.
What Charlie Nuclear, yeah, he says when the AI bubble pops, so does the price. And yes, I said this on, I don't know, it's the last stream, but I said this recently. It is a bubble. It will pop, but AI won't stop there. But everybody will stop chasing it in the same way because it's not going to produce like they expect it to. It's a bubble. There was a bubble in the 90s, a tech bubble in or early 2090s, around that range, that kind of popped. A bunch of people got rich real quick, and then they got bankrupt real quick. Well, yeah, okay. Those touch screens, I've read where they'd wipe it and then test what was on it, and there's so much feces on those screens.
Oh,
Yeah, there are so many people who don't wash their hands after being at the toilet. Family Guy had an episode. It was funny because it was Stewie having the pink eye because he had the poop tablet, the tablet that people use when they are on the toilet.
I'm a little bit of a, I don't know, I guess you call it germophobic, whatever. I mean, I actually stay clean as fuck, and I keep my environment clean. So, it may not fit my look or my character, but you can ask these two. I am a bit of a clean freak, a little bit, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, he really is.
I'm a
Well-
mix of this too. I mean, there will be some necessary things like washing your hands and stuff like that. But then again, I will at times not care for my hair anymore because it's real fucking work, and who am I to impress? And furthermore, keeping my nest clean. I mean, there are empty whiskey bottles everywhere, like everywhere, but they're bottles, so I don't mind too much. I wouldn't get
Okay.
it, let it get any
When
nastier than that, but
when I was a regular drinker and I was a heavy drinker, I was the heaviest drinker that I knew. I mean, it's rare that someone was a heavier drinker than I was, but yeah, I wasn't as clean then. But it's because I was on the go. I didn't really stay at home. I just touched base every once in a while and took off again. I mean, I didn't sleep like 4 hours or 3 hours, and yeah, I basically I lived on the road and going to
yeah,
going.
he was an outside owl. Yeah, no. The thing is, I have stairs and floors to go down and up again. So, um, yeah, bringing down the bottles, it is heavy, and I get rabbit heart just going 3 flights of stairs up. I mean, 3 floors. So yeah, I'm kind of too lazy to bring them down, and then they accumulate, and then there are so many, and at some point I need to bring some down. That's my system now. Being
Yeah,
lazy for a year and then working hard for a day, kind of
when
deal.
I was a drinker like that, I always had, wherever I was, I had a stash hidden somewhere.
Oh, I try to have, but I can't afford it. I mean, I'm well prepared. I have two
Well, see,
backups.
I was kind of back then. I was kind of in a scene, and they, half jokingly called themselves Little Hollywood because there was a lot going on, and we did have well-known rock stars regularly going through. That we did have that, but everybody was always doing some kind of project, whether it be a band or making a movie or an art thing, and it was and it was a scene, right, of hip popular people, and and it turned out everybody thought I was the top one. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? All I do is bully them. All I do is bully them, right?
Wait, you had this big balls energy, I guess.
I was
think they
a
call it.
drunk. I was a drunk, and as a result, I was an asshole. And I'm not the same now. Or let me say, I try not to be. If anybody feels bullied by me, that wasn't my intention. No, seriously, it's not my intention.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is back at that time, there was a lot going on all the time, and you were on the road near 7 days a week, and there was no
Ooh.
time for anything else much.
Yeah, I tried to
You were
take
a real
one day a
road.
week off, but I didn't always succeed at that.
Mm-mm.
Interesting. I never was a roadie or a groupie.
Yeah.
I wasn't
When
in.
I was younger, I had unlimited energy. I had insane energy.
Yeah. I mean, he was like he had the energy of 1,000 suns. Dear God, he made
Right.
he
Okay,
wore me out.
here comes a weird
That's-
question. Didn't we all?
That's
I mean,
hyperbole, but anyway.
I was most of the time not sleeping for days. I was like sleeping 2 or 3 days a week, and then only like 3 or 4 hours. The rest of the week I was fucking on my legs, doing shit. Isn't that normal? If you're young, I mean, you have just better things to do than fucking sleep.
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for others. I know that I was going wide open while everybody else was passing the fuck out.
Oh, okay, yeah. There is a difference. I mean, you told me you can drink gallons. I would be fucking dead if I did that. There's definitely a difference, but I'm just saying. And then when you're younger, that most of the time people go to their limit. I mean, there will always be the friends who pass out first, but they pass out for what, 2 hours, and then the party goes on, and that is their life. I guess. I mean, that's how I remember it. Hmm. Hmm.
'Cause I'm going to jump into another article. Now,
Okay.
this one should be clear to a lot of people, but I actually don't think it is. So, games run faster on Steam OS than Windows 11, and this is from Ars Technica, which is a well-established, company, website, whatever, right? Here's the thing. Everybody's going Steam OS, it's Linux. If you're running Linux and you have Steam on it, you got the same thing. And yes, I've been saying this for years. You do have distinct advantages running games on Linux, and a lot of people are actually not aware of this. So that's why I decided to cover it. To me, I'm like, duh, this is not news. But, I'm like, a lot of people don't realize this. So it says nearly a decade ago, Ars tested the original Steam machine. They tried it before, and it performed worse. But here's why. Back then, they only had native Linux games, not made for Windows. And these companies, they wouldn't put as much work into the Linux build because it had less users. So it was buggy shit. Now that they've got the tech built up from Wine, and the Valve version, the Steam version is called Proton, it can run Windows games quite well. So they didn't wait for people to adapt to them. They were like the Borg. They assimilated them. See, Proton, what it does is it doesn't use any Windows stuff. Rather, what the game calls for to run, it picks the Linux version of that and runs it with that. So it's literally running on Linux. It's not even faking Windows. What they call it is a translation layer. Wine or Proton is a translation layer. It translates the calls to have the Linux protocols pick up and make it work. So yes, that games do run quicker on it.
I actually
And
did
so,
not know this, and I assume that Windows 10 also is slower.
yeah, I've been using Linux for oh 26 or 27 years, and then it's always been a little quicker. In some cases, it'd be slower, right? But they've really built up the technology to where, more often than not, it runs it better and quicker.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good to know.
So it says, while users have been able to install Windows on the Steam Deck since its 2022 launch, Valve doesn't offer Windows on Deck support for this alternative hardware use case. Uh, Lenovo's Legion Go S, on the other hand, is the first gaming portable explicitly Steam OS. So yes, you have the Legion Go, and there's another one. What's that other popular one?
Oh, don't
I
ask me.
Okay, but anyway, two of the Steam Deck alternatives, one being the Legion Go, support Steam Deck, and they've tested them on these as well, and Linux or Steam OS, if you will, are quicker. Okay, to test the performance impact of the operating system choice, we started with the Steam OS version of the Legion Go S and tested 5 high-end 3D games released in the last 5 years using built-in benchmarking tools and 2 different graphic resolution tiers. And then we installed Windows 11, downloaded updated drivers, and reran the benchmarks on the same game downloaded through Steam for Windows. So yeah, they tested them on each machine. And yes, Linux or Steam OS, if you will, does indeed run the games quicker.
So there was proper science.
Distinct advantage in game performance provides Valve with yet another strong selling point for Steam OS over Windows-based gaming handhelds. That's especially noteworthy when you consider the $599 Steam OS powered Legion Go S retails for $130 less than the Windows powered counterparts. So if you have a choice, it can come with Windows or Steam OS. Not only is Steam OS run it quicker, it's cheaper because Windows is including the price of the Windows license, and while Linux is free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but
When I remember right, the last rig I built, $70 was for the Windows.
okay, so being as there is this hardware crisis going on now, it might encourage people to switch to Linux because it's
Because it
just
doesn't take as
cheaper.
much RAM. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it can run on less RAM, or rather run better on less RAM. I'm hoping it encourages programmers to use less RAM. I mean, if you look at when the older consoles, when they made a game for it, it's like we have to fit it in this much space and we have to get it to run on this hardware. They could fit a great game in a small package. Now they're like, oh, we have these computers with this big processor and as much RAM as you want. And, they'll upgrade their computer for it. So they just go out of control and make it a memory hog. And they just ask for so much. They're not even trying. They're not even aiming to cut the memory anymore.
Thank you for saying this. It's especially bad with console ports. For example, there is a PlayStation exclusive like Rise of Ronin, and then they decide, oh no, we make a PC version, but they don't optimize it at all, and they really get way too greedy at your hardware with it. It is ridiculous. For the PlayStation, they needed to optimize it so it runs, but then make the PC port and don't give a fuck because they will upgrade. Who cares?
Yeah,
And
a
then
lot
it
of times
doesn't run.
they're like, this PlayStation port is so much better. That's because it had one piece of hardware. They optimized the hell out of it, and they're going to be like, this is our biggest selling point. Let's put all of our attention here, and we can cut the memory here and there so it runs like 60 frames a second. Then it's like over to the computer side. It's like, oh, well, they might have an incredible computer, so the sky's the limit. And the result is a hungry game eating up your resources that runs like shit.
Yeah. I know myself. After playing on Steam OS for so long, I couldn't go back to Windows. It's just so sluggish and just can't do near as much on it.
Yeah, I need to say you convinced me. I will switch to Linux. I had Windows all my life, and I got more and more angry with it the longer the time goes on.
Learn how to dual boot so you have both. If you have an issue with one, you can go to the other. So yeah, that's what I would advise. Make sure you install it correctly in a dual boot fashion. So I'm not a programmer, but C pound language, I know there's like I think there's like a C sharp developed by Microsoft. There's a C and a C++.
I think he's talking
He
about
said,
C sharp.
yeah, he said it's called C sharp.
He said he's
Yeah.
making fun of that J Viper because that's what he called it. Was a
Yeah.
C pound.
Oh, okay. I believe that was the implementation that Microsoft did. I'm not a programmer, but from everything I've read, C++ is always the safer way to go. But
That's the
again,
most one that I see.
Yeah, I'm so tech unsavvy, and I would actually install Linux right now. But here's the thing: my PC is now 5 years old, and it's a mess. I would need to set it up again and make clean house because it's a mess. It is. There's so much memory loss to things that I don't even know what they are and do. It's just a
well,
mess.
my main computer is at least 4 years old. I mean, but I'm not one of these got to have the latest and greatest. I'll have a good enough video card that will run the newer stuff, but it doesn't have to be at max settings. I mean,
Yeah, same here.
I would
Same here.
say it start to get old by 8 years, maybe. Then you might consider doing something with it. But then again, it all depends if your graphics card has that power to keep it going, even though the rest is kind of old. You're good. The way I look at it.
Yeah, the issue is, I agree with you. The PCs I had beforehand, they were 6 to 8 years before you need to upgrade them. Now it is shorter because I actually feel it now, but it's my fault because my processor is a bit too weak. The graphics card still holds up for the games that I played that are new, but the processor is a bit too weak.
Do you know what processor you have?
The latest of the E5 Intel ones, the one before the E7 came out. I don't know the number
So
at the
an
moment.
i5.
Yeah, an i5, the latest generation of those, the highest one.
Well, here's
And
the
it's
thing.
it's
I
getting
know
old.
you look at the numbers, and sometimes higher don't mean shit. It's the generation, and you have to look at the cache on it, and different things like that. Sometimes a lower numbered one performs better than the higher numbered one.
I think it was a 9000 or something. I can look it up. But the thing is, when I play like Rise of Ronin or at the moment where Winds Meet, my CPU is at 100%, which shouldn't be
Okay.
the case.
What you need to do is download CPU-Z. It's like CPU-Z. And what that does is it gathers all the data of the hardware of your computer and displays it one place.
Hmm. Okay.
That way you can see what it is, what all it's got in it, and everything like that.
Yeah, that's the issue which I have with the newer Windows. I mean, back then in the day when I used Windows XP, which was my favorite, I knew where my shit was. I knew my computer inside and out, and then I was forced to upgrade, and I upgraded to Windows 7, and I kind of lost track of some stuff. But I kept it as long as possible, and then there was Windows 10, and I was like confused, and a third of what my PC does and where stuff is and why it is there, I have no fucking idea, like for real. I have a 500 gigabyte SSD and a 1 terabyte normal storage, and there is like 150 gigabytes on my SSD where I
I
not know what it is. Where did it
I
go?
have I have multiple external hard drives, and I got a few inside my computer too. And I think all together it might equal about 16 terabytes.
Damn. Yeah, I would like to have the funds for stuff like that.
Well, some of them are just, mechanical HDD hard drives, external ones. Some of them are SDDs. There's the NVMe ones that looks like a stick of RAM that goes in your computer. Then there's the other style SDDs, which is solid state drive, which run at a slower speed because they're like SATA based. But anyway, it's a lot to get into, and I used to be a big computer tech person, but I've kind of let it all go. I'm like, I don't want all that filling my head up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not that tech savvy. I built with a friend one PC myself where I bought all the components separately, making the best price possible. That was after I axed my first PC and I didn't have the funds, so we needed to go cheap. He was kind enough to give me his old motherboard and processor from an old PC, so there was some savage of monies, and we built it together, and he showed me how to build it, and then we set it up and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, I'm never doing that one
But
again.
I don't know if it'd be right for you, but when the Steam machine comes out, it's something to, an all-in-one you might could possibly get.
Yeah, I'm actually really considering as my next buy to go for the Steam box. Yes,
Just
because
just okay, here's the thing. Even in a Steam machine, you can install Windows, but I would definitely do dual boot. Learn how to install it in such a way that you dual boot, so you have the option of both.
but isn't it smarter just going for the SteamOS slash Linux and leave Windows out altogether? I mean, I would be able
Well,
to access
there
the internet and
there
play.
will be things you're like, why can't I have this? Why can't I do this? And it's like it's a different operating system. That's why. And there will be things you'll run into like that.
Oh, okay, okay. Because end of the day, what do I need my fucking computer for? Yeah, yeah. Obviously, to be fucking online, watching my stuff, being on YouTube, being here on the panel, and furthermore, fucking playing games. Those are the four big ones. And if the Steam Deck can provide this, I will go for it because the games will run as they should. And I'm very disappointed because this year was a bit disappointing because since March I have issues with newer games that they run properly. Baldur's Gate 3 I got to run. I optimized the shit out of it, and I could play it very high specs without many issues. I mean, the last act was laggy for everyone. That's nothing new, but Rise of Ronin was the game. I bought it in March and I can't play it. It fucking crashes like every 20 minutes or an hour. And even if I did so much, I installed so much stuff to alleviate my CPU of the usage the game does, and I even spec down the graphics to a point that it really kind of started to hurt. It still
Well,
will crash, and
well,
I cannot fix it.
for what the Steam machine will cost, alternatively, you could always go for a gaming laptop, but they have quite a few limitations.
No, no, I cannot go for a laptop. It would kill my back. I mean, I have no
Okay,
no business with
here's the
laptop.
thing: is make sure the laptop has the HDMI port and run it to a monitor.
Yeah, you can do
Mhm.
that. hook it up to a
Yeah,
monitor and keyboard and mouse.
that's the issue. I need the fucking keyboard, and I
Well,
will
you
not
know,
sit in my chair and put the laptop on my lap, even if it's called that.
you
No, that
can
doesn't
do
work
all
for me.
that. I mean, you can like just leave your laptop there, run it out to a monitor, run a keyboard and mouse from it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can do all that.
Oh, okay. But aren't laptops actually more expensive if they have the same specs than the PC? Or am I stupid now?
Well,
Because my cousin bought a gaming laptop and that shit cost more than my PC
well,
with the same specs, more or less.
I don't know. You gotta do your own research on that, but I do know like they run hot quicker. You're not gonna be able to
Mhm.
upgrade the video, the graphics
Man,
card on it. It's gonna be
I
less
mean, I
upgradable.
do own a laptop, but it is at my mom's, so that when I visit, that I have, something there I can access the internet to, because at times I will be left alone for hours, so I will watch my shows and shit. That is a very small old laptop, but that shit overheats just fucking being online because it's old and small. So laptops, I'm not a really big fan of them. I bought one in my life, and that's it. I'm not a fan of laptops. What can I say? I really don't like them too much. I mean, the point of a laptop is that you can transport it and use it wherever and have it with you all the time. But that's not something I do. I'm stationary, so it doesn't make much sense for me to have a portable device when I'm never bringing it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean there are. I think there's a company called Frameworks where it allows you to like easily upgrade parts, take a part out and just slide it in, but it's more expensive for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, end of the day, it's all about the funds. That's why I really considering the new Steam box, because even if it gets up in price, as long as it is under $1,300, it is still cheaper than the fucking PC I have now. I paid 1,300 for this one
Well,
5 years ago.
okay, yeah, if you could go over that, I would encourage that. But seeing as how you come from a Windows world, I would suggest installing both and dual
hmm
booting.
hmm hmm Yeah, I listened to you on this one, so I have something to fall back on, and then experiment and learn
Yeah,
Linux at the same time.
I use Linux almost exclusively, but I always have Windows. So if something, if it just pure fucks up, I don't have to spend a day or a week fixing it. I have something to go back on, and I go to
hmm
Windows, which I
hmm
hate using Windows. It's fucking slow as shit compared to Linux.
Yeah, no, I'm listening. I'm listening, and I think that's the best way to go. I was just asking the question before, if Linux only
Yeah.
wouldn't be better, but I
Um,
see the issue. Oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
to mention, I boot into Windows, and it's like, get this premium. Hey, have you checked this out? You want to buy this? And you get all this fucking insanity, and you get these pop-ups going. Do you want us to have your information, or do you want to select only some of your information? And it's like you're just constantly getting hit with this shit, and that doesn't happen in Linux.
You
Yeah, you're
know,
bombarded. But I have a question. If you wanted to put Linux on the Steam machine, um, I mean
But it
Windows. I'm
it
sorry.
comes with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to say if you want to put Windows on it, how would that work? Because Linux is already on it, and to my understanding, Windows has to be first, or it gets screwy.
Yeah, I don't. Well, they have different methods now. I don't know. Used to, if you dual boot it, you had to have Windows first, or it wanted to be the dominant one, or you couldn't. You know, you always had to do Windows first. But I don't know. I'm betting I haven't really kept up with what's going on, but I'm betting
could
that
you could you
that's
could you not
bypassed
just split the drive, and make
now.
for
Partition.
example, yeah, can
Yes,
yes, yes.
but there used to be an issue with that. Windows had to be first, but I'm betting that's bypassed now. I mean, do
Oh,
your
okay.
own research on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is in the future. First of all, it isn't released. Second of all, I will take like
Okay, go to the future and then do your research on it.
yeah. No,
Your research
it is
anytime.
hard to even get the funds to afford anything anyway. So that is actually future talk, but it's something that I'm actually considering that when my PC is too old and I need to upgrade or replace it, I think I'm going to go for the Steam box. I think it is a good move to do, and I think I will save
Well,
some
yeah,
money.
they should have named it Steam Box. It rolls off the tongue better, but they call it Steam Machine,
Yeah,
which
and
makes you think it's gonna smoke. It's just gonna be a smoking machine.
yeah,
what I think about when I hear that is like the steampunk gadgets and stuff. That's what I think about.
Or some people, a lot of the internet's calling it the Gabe Box because
Yeah,
like the
no,
GameCube,
there was the
GameCube.
GameCube, and
Gabe,
it's similar,
GameCube.
it's
Yeah,
it's
yes, yes,
Cube
yes,
like
yes.
that. And then there's Gabe Newell who owns Valve. That's he's
Yeah,
really
that's for
leading the
sure.
charge on all this stuff.
But I call it the Steam box because I like use my own names. I mean, there will be you're making fucks at me, so there will be a Steam box,
Yeah,
and I
it's
decided
like you imagine somebody who just uses their computer for I don't know Fuda, and then they call it the fuck box.
the box. No. Then you need to call it the holy box of food.
Yeah.
But that controller, there's going to be a Steam controller come with it, and a lot of people are going, it's ugly. That controller is fucking glorious. If you've used the Steam Deck with those 2 trackpads and 4 buttons in the back, nothing beats it. You can do any damn thing with that. That controller, you may think is ugly, but that fucking thing is glorious.
I heard
Yeah.
about that. I mean, I
Well, it
actually
seems to me like that controller wouldn't cramp your hands up as much.
that's the thing about controllers. I have this small, tiny hands, and for some reason, the Xbox One joypad fits very well. I really like it how
Okay,
it
well,
holds.
think of it
Um,
like this. You can program those trackpads to do anything you want. So technically, you could use the knobs or the trackpads, depending on how your hand fits it, whichever it reaches better.
mm-mm. I mean, I looked at the design of the controller of the Steam controller, the new one, and I don't think it's ugly. I just I'm unsure if it fits my hands well. But if it does, it could be my new favorite controller. I will give it a shot, for sure. It's just so far, the Xbox One is actually my
So
favorite.
so what you're telling us is you prefer men with small dicks, right?
That's actually kind of true because I'm very small.
Yeah. The controller also has a gyroscope feature in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you can
heard many good things. Everyone is excited, so I need to try it out. I mean, it would be stupid not to do so. It
Yeah,
has
okay.
more
Say
features than
say
any
you use a
other
Steam
controller.
Deck. At first, you're gonna feel like it's awkward, but once you get that down, you're gonna be like, there is no better controller in the world.
Yeah, I know this feeling. I mean, I had, I'm a console kid. Okay, you play the NES controller, then you have the SNES controller, and think it's the best thing ever. Then
Yeah,
comes the N64, and you think you're holding a dildo, and then comes the
oh yeah, I
PlayStation
hate that.
controller, and you love that shit, and say that's the best controller
So
ever,
yeah,
and so on, and
yeah, but none of them has done what Valve has done with their Steam controller or Steam Deck. None of them.
mm-mm.
But yeah,
That's what I'm
the
getting to.
NES controller, you're all cramped like this, and your hands
I
are
mean,
just
I was a kid. Yeah. Now, I mean, I have the small hands,
and it had
and I
those
played
hard
NES as a kid.
squared
Yeah,
corners.
it was weird, but with the small hands, it was a non-issue. But
And
it's true. The SNES controller was way better with the round sides, and the 4 buttons and the shoulders. Ooh, the shoulders were
And then
nice.
the Nintendo 64 had the 3
Yeah,
handles. You're like this, and like, what the hell? And then the knob
I
was
didn't.
hard
I
plastic.
actually didn't like that one. It was like holding a dildo, and I'm not joking.
I've
Like,
honestly never held a dildo, so
yeah, I have some.
so
I would have
Phoenix,
some.
was it like holding a dildo?
I have no idea.
Let's say I had a very interesting use of the Rumble Pack.
Yeah, the Nintendo 64 controller, to have rumble on it, you needed to put a little pack on it, and then it would rumble.
Yeah, it was in the memory slot. You could put it at the backside in, and then it was the new
Yeah,
thing, and everyone
you
got
you,
crazy about it. I
you stick
hated
it up its
it.
butt, and it shakes all over for you.
Yeah. The funny thing is,
You-
I found other uses for it, but I didn't like it in gaming. And if there is a vibration option, because the newer controllers, PlayStation
Yeah,
and Xbox have this feature,
I
and
can
I hate
imagine
it.
your parents knocking on your door, going, "Are you winning?"
I was able to lock my door. I insisted on it. Mm.
Yeah, but I think we all can agree the Nintendo 64 controller was the worst.
Unless you're Lewis.
Which control? I didn't hear it acoustically. Which one?
Nintendo
Nintendo
64.
64.
Nintendo. Yeah. I think so too. By
How the
far.
fuck is it that my show
wait,
always
wait.
gets so ratcheted?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
I've
sorry.
often wondered that myself.
But here's the thing. I think the worst controller ever was the first Sega one because it only had 3 buttons. You couldn't play fucking Mortal Kombat
No,
1 on Sega. That one sucked. I hated it.
it came out before the Super Nintendo, which meant all of its competitors only had 2 buttons.
That's true, but 3 buttons is stupid.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring up another article. So what we have here, BBC's LGBTQ, a lot of fucking letters, agenda exposed as shady edits fuel Trump's legal fire. I'm hearing my own voice through something. I don't know what.
That is
So,
weird.
okay. President Trump has raised his damages demand against the BBC from 1 billion to 5 billion. He's suing the BBC because, well, I'll get into it. It's highlighted here, but essentially they cut up some videos of him to make him look really, really bad. And it's easily proven. Okay, so after discovering an edited speech was used in a documentary to mislead viewers about what the president actually said on January the 6th, BBC quickly put out a statement claiming it regretted how the editing looked because insisted it had done nothing wrong. The defense did not last long. The Telegraph pointed out that the BBC tried the same stunt back in 2022 when it edited footage of Trump's speech on its Newsnight program to make it look as if he told his supporters to riot. If you're keeping score, that means the BBC manufactured video by mashing together separate remarks, presented it as proof of some non-existent narrative, then showed it to millions of viewers. Now, I'm not here singing the praises of Trump, but when somebody does this, they did it. They're guilty. I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah.
Well, they said that they edited the video and that they were
Yeah.
sorry that it was badly
Nintendo
done.
64 sucked, but apparently it also fucked.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so James Zumwalt summed this up well, saying the BBC probably won't win this fight. The BBC, as usual, declares there is no pattern of wrongdoing. Yeah, okay. According to the New York Post, newly leaked emails reveal more evidence against the BBC. Starting as early as 2020, the female staff reportedly warned editors that the state-backed broadcaster was not just left-leaning, but had gone completely off the rails with its coverage of trans issues. The email showed staff objected to stories that referred to biological male sex offenders as women, and reported that management avoided using words like girls and women for topics like periods and birth control. This is what happens when the outlet hires activist gatekeepers to block certain facts from reaching the public.
Yeah.
The women also described the culture of fear at the BBC, where every veteran reporter didn't dare stray from the position of trans issues lest they be branded transphobic, the Times reported. Any questioning of insignificantly enthusiastic championing risked being labeled as bigoted. It felt like activism, not news, one BBC staffer told the Sunday Times. So they painted a clear picture of what was going on there, which is kind of what's going on in America right now. It was like, if you don't go, that's a woman, because they said, it's ma'am. You know, you're bigoted. You're a transphobe. And of course, this is worse in the UK than it is even in America.
Here's the thing with that. They actually managed to use those buzzwords so much that they don't mean anymore. And today, every person that is worth their salt doesn't give a fuck if you call them a bigot, a racist, a phobe. It's all over. People don't care anymore because they overused it in a settlement of fear.
I expected, when I started this channel, I expected to get a lot more hate than I actually got. I did get a few people like, you're bigoted, phobic, blah, 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 is this, that. But for the most part, I've not gotten so much hate, oddly. Sure, my channel's not very popular, but it's been a touch popular, just like a drop popular for a long time. And I've still not received any hate, which I'm not looking for it. I'm thankful, but I do find it odd.
I have a theory about that. But Phoenix, go ahead. Sorry.
I think the average person isn't as the extreme as all the media makes them out to be. It's just all these media people are taking it to the extreme of everything.
There's not so many extremist, activists out there. That's true. But you know what we do have overabundance of? People are afraid because they're like, either you say what we believe, then you only say that, or we'll fire you, or we'll this, we'll that, and you're going to be hated everywhere you go as a bigot and a transphobe. And what we have a problem with is not activists everywhere, but cowards everywhere. Yeah. I understand if you got to keep your job. I understand that. But in other scenarios, you should be like, fuck, no, I'm not saying it. I'm not doing it. Just no.
Yeah.
We are finally in the age where most people would say, fuck off. I will not call you ma'am. But 3 years ago, people were, as Noise said, so fearful because the repercussions were actually high. I mean, there are some prominent examples of it. Like, look at what happened to Gina Carano. She is a prime example. She was not doing the fucking... Here's the thing. People always assume it was her post, which was very actually accurate. Just by the way, she said something really smart in her post. But that wasn't the thing she really got in trouble for. It was that she didn't respect her pronouns. She wrote beep, bloop, beep or some bullshit and made fun of it like every sane person would do if you are forced to use pronouns.
What she did was that really upset them.
Yeah, but that really upset them.
Where it says put your pronouns, and she went bleep bloop like a robot or something.
Yeah.
And she called hell. She was fired, and she had everybody, making threats and complaining on social media, and it was a madhouse. And she didn't even directly say fuck that trans shit, nothing like that.
Yeah.
She was even blacklisted. I mean, come on. She's a prominent example, but yeah, there was this era of fear, and Noise is right. The real issue are the people who are fearful. You are the majority, okay? You are the sane ones. Fucking grow some balls and stand up for yourself. I don't know how this happened that people don't have a backbone anymore. You will have your opinions, stand for them. If you don't make enemies in your life, you never stood for anything. I mean,
Well,
what the
yeah,
fuck?
I know exactly how you feel, and here's what I mean. Not everybody's gonna agree with me when I say things, and that's okay. You want to know what's not okay? When you don't say shit, when you get quiet because I don't agree with that, I'm gonna shut up, or when you kind of go along with it because then you're scared and afraid. If you feel different, be like, I don't feel the same. Let's talk like adults instead of
Hmm.
like a scared kid in a corner. That's where I got the problem.
Yeah,
Well,
I have.
it's okay to disagree on things, some things anyway, because not everybody thinks the same.
That's so true.
And the reason why everybody is so scared now is because they have had years of conditioning from everything
I
to
would I
where,
would claim that this is a human nature thing. Most people are just cheap and scared.
yeah, that's true.
Even without this climate, I saw this back when I was a child before this shit was real. There will be people who are flip flopping their opinions just because they are scared, and that
Hmm.
is something I really can't stand.
Yes,
Stand by
There-
your shit. If you shit
yes,
the bed, admit it. If
yeah,
you
yeah.
have this
For
opinion,
the
stand by it.
people that might watch this and go, I'm offended. If I feel like they're talking about me. If that's the case, I only want good for you. I want you to man up. I want you to stop being the scared kid in the corner. I'm not berating, I'm not shit talking. I'm saying I would like to see you stand up and speak your mind instead of kind of being the scared kid.
Well, I mean, that goes for everybody because, you know, the powers that be squish abstract thought. It's done from the time children are going to kindergarten all the way up into college. And by the
Yep.
time they get to college, they are so damn confused about everything and they're afraid of everything and they're afraid to question anything. They have to toe the line or
Okay.
bad shit happens.
If
They
you're talking to somebody and they're not clearly communicating back to you, that usually upsets people. They start getting upset. And then you're like, I won't talk to them because they're acting upset and like an asshole. It's like, where do you think that come from? That's a woman move. It's like no, he's abusive. He's acting like that. It's like, no, bitch, you brought him to it. If all you had to do is communicate.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm saying
sometimes
I'm
it's
saying that's a woman's move. You gotta have a backbone, and I'm not saying
yeah,
fight. All I'm saying is speak your truth.
Yeah,
true.
you need to. I mean, here's the thing. I'm in total agreement. If you have your mind of your own, you should stand by it and not lie for any social conduct or fear of reprehension or whatever. But here's the other thing: you always should have an open mind and not be rigid, because if you
Hmm.
are presented with new facts, you can actually change your mind. But that is not out of fear, but out of acknowledgement that your knowledge and your conclusions weren't where they need to be. You will still listen to your soul and to your mind, which is fine.
Yeah,
You can change your mind on things, but not out of fear or social pressure. That's bitch stuff. That's
yeah,
you're a little bitch now.
yeah. Before we get too far from it, I'm gonna read
I'm
this
sorry.
last block of text here. An internal memo makes it clear all trans-related stories were censored by the so-called LGBTQ specialist, whose job, it appears, was to keep anything critical from seeing the light of day. Staff described the newsroom on run on fear, where even long-serving journalists stayed silent or risked being branded transphobic. According to a BBC staffer quoted in the Sunday Times, any questioning or insignificantly enthusiastic championing I know I've read this line before, but anyway, was labeled as bigoted. It felt like activism, not news.
Yeah, it's so true. Many people are not aware, but this new climate we have in the last 10 years is very, very anti womanhood and anti female. The feminism got so radical, it is anti female, and all of the LGBTQ plus nonsense is very much anti female, and I mean a straight female.
Hmm. A
It is
natural,
really against you. It is really
yeah, a
hard
natural
against you.
born
Yeah,
female.
it is really bad. And I understand this article very much. I mean, I couldn't fathom how much stress and despair I would have to work at a company that makes me feel that way. Just about how I was born. This is not fair at all. It was a travesty. It is a travesty, and I hope it finally goes away because um, that's the thing that I think. It is designed to make normal women who wants to have a family, kids, and be normal eradicated. I mean, they changed things like breastfeeding to what was it? Oh no, a breast milk to human milk, or a woman to a birthing person. This
Hmm.
dehumanizing changing of language was a direct attack at nature in my eyes, and a very strong one. I mean, calling people suddenly cisgender if they are just fucking normal. I mean, you are aware that being homosexual or even furthermore transgender, that is
Yeah,
rare and the exception, and
but
now
you
you
know,
need to term for us.
all,
That was
all I'm looking
absurd.
for, all I'm looking for is common sense. And here's what I mean:
Mm,
we all see this as clear insanity what they're doing now. But back in my day in the deep South, being a male having long hair, they just thought you were queer as could be, and it
Hmm.
wasn't so. And here's what I'm getting at: we don't need it to swing back the other way either.
Mm-mm.
It's
mm-mm.
okay to be a little different. It's okay. I mean, even if you're gay, you're gay, and I mean, it's not a choice, right?
It's
Uh,
fine.
yeah, but this insanity they're doing. All I'm saying is we can find some common sense middle ground.
Yeah.
I
Well,
have this feeling that they fostered uh, uh, a situation where people who are not straight are now feeling that the straight people are their enemies when we are more accepting than ever. At least when I was in the 80s and 90s, early
Yeah, it's
2000s,
it's definitely
it was
happening
non issue.
in the LGBT community. Yes, it's like if you're white or straight, you're the enemy, or if you're a man, and But it's also happening in the black versus white or anything versus
Yeah,
white. It's
yeah,
like if you're white, you're the enemy.
yeah,
Where's this insanity coming from? I mean, why would we? I mean, straight white person is like, oh, I don't care that you're gay. I don't care you're black. We're all cool. But the other side's like, no, fuck you. You're the devil. Where the fuck's
yeah.
this coming from?
The Asians are. I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, the Western world is under attack from every angle possible, and diversion, making people not stand together in any community or fucking country is the main goal. First of all, so making you divided by sexuality and race is easy to do because it just works, and that's what's happening. Um,
Also, there's a lot of Gen Zs who like, oh, if you were around in the 80s and 90s, you could get a house and a job. It was just so super easy. No, the fuck it wasn't. There were
no, it
rich
was not.
communities who their family and friends set them up in things, and then there was everybody else who was struggling like a motherfucker. Somebody paint a picture in their head like everything was so easy back then.
No,
You
it
know
was
how
not.
often I had to walk from town to town, sleep in the woods or in a car because I was trying to get a job, and I would literally apply to about 30 to 50 places a day which didn't exist. You couldn't apply online back then. There was no online back then. No online. So I
You
went.
show up at the place, or you write letters and stuff.
Typically a stretch of about 40 miles, but sometimes I'd go as far as 100 per day. Okay, here's the thing. I would have to save up gas money. And then I would go to 40 miles to 100 miles out and hit every place, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be garbage collection, whether it be sewage work, and reapply every time I got up enough money. And I would probably apply to 40 plus places a day.
Yeah.
Okay, that's much. I need to admit that's much. What I wanted to say about the housing. Oh, sorry.
I would go with my brother, which he's not around anymore, but he could testify to this. We busted our asses trying to get work. It was not how it's painted in these Gen Z's heads. Like, oh, back then you just buy a car and buy a house and you're all set and everybody's happy. So who the fuck put this in your head?
Seriously, the fact is, my generation, I would say like 10 to 15% were able to actually buy a condo or a house. The rest would not be available to this, and still are just fucking renting, because here in Austria, owning land was even back then almost impossible because of the fucking price of land. I mean, it depends where you are, but there will always be fuckery, and just building your own house and having your own fucking property was even back then not something you can achieve easily.
Oh yeah, there's the thing. I'm not saying that it didn't exist. There were some people
Yeah.
who got the jobs, got the cars, got the houses, and they were humming and fucking whistling along the way, but they either grew up in richer families or had connections or was in an area which there was plenty available. For everybody that had, there was more who couldn't have that. You know, if there were 20% that was living it up, there was 80% that was suffering, scraping
Thank you.
by.
I would say in the 80s and 90s, the people from that generation, it's a 2080. Yeah, that's kind of what I would think that is very realistic to see it as.
You know, at times I found myself with groups of people who didn't have anywhere to go, you know, and they were all in the general same age range, but we'd find a house to stay in without electricity. We'd buy a loaf of bread and we'd all eat a piece of toast a day. And when we could scrape up enough money, we'd all go look for jobs together. And that wasn't just once. This happened a bunch of times. It was kind of like, in my area, everybody was kind of living like hobos. There wasn't all this availability. It's like, oh, I'm going to get me a house. This is my first house. No. It's kind of like, do I have a bed to sleep in tonight?
Yeah.
I need to say something here. I'm coming from the middle, kind of upper class kind of deal. My stepdad, he made really good money, but he wasn't able to buy a house or buy property.
Mm-hmm.
That was impossible, and he made good money. Okay. So I don't know where this notion of the Gen Z people comes from, that you can easily do that. That's just bullshit, because even people who earn good money couldn't do that.
Well,
I mean, I'm not in the USA, but I see the comparison. I think it's the same deal with the property and housing stuff.
Well, my parents both work full time, like 40 to 60 something hours a week or so. Sometimes more than 60, but whatever the case. That they weren't set by any means. They scraped by, and they both worked full time, the same job for like 40 years. Same job, 40 years. The only time they got paid more is when minimum wage went up. Which
can I ask something?
In this part of the world, we have the lowest minimum wage in the country.
Yeah, I think it's like $7.25.
Oh, that's lower than Austria by far. Okay. Here's the question. What is full time for you? How many hours a week is full
Uh,
time
40.
that
40
you're?
to be considered
Oh,
full time.
okay. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Then it's the same in like in Austria. Okay. Okay. I was just trying to make sure because I heard people who are insane who work 60 to 70 hours a week or even
But
more.
here's the thing, you know, my mother and my sisters, all the females in my family were college graduates. All the men were workaholics. They didn't have hobbies. They didn't have downtime. They worked. The point is, it was every success, every formula for success, every formula. But you're in a bad area, and there's no getting out of that bad area. It will never provide you enough to up your station in life,
Oh
whether it be
no.
the 80s or 90s. That doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
Understood. And I'm very much in agreement, and it is even more sinister than that. Because even if you have money and some status, you will not be allowed to have your own lands. It's really rotten because every fucking little piece of fucking earth on this planet belongs to someone, and they will fucking screw you over.
No, no, my parents did own a couple acres of land, but here you don't get the mineral rights. Meaning, if they find oil or gold or whatever, they can take that from you, which then your land's going to be screwed to hell and back if they actually find something in it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and it
god,
doesn't
that's
matter.
nasty.
It doesn't matter how long your family has owned that land either.
Oh, that's
The
really
reason
nasty.
I know that is because my grandmother, on her property, there was coal. There was a coal vein running underneath her property. And the coal company came out and they were going to take her land away from her. And she owned like 60 acres, and that's a lot of land. At that time, she owned that much. And the problem with it is the only way she got to keep her property was the vein that they had found was so minuscule it wouldn't have mattered, it wouldn't have mattered that much to them. So they
Yeah,
did
well,
through with
that reminds me,
So
there
she
there
got
was
lucky.
there was a branch on my mother's side of the family that were much more wealthy. I mean, like, they would, if you trace it back far enough, they were some of the founders of some of these towns, right? But some lines continue the wealth and some lines stop it. That
Mm.
usually starts with favorite children.
it. Yeah.
I would also say it's a matter of the timeline because here's the thing. My stepdad's family, going back to my grandpa or my great grandpa, they actually owned land and built their house themselves. It's 3-story fucking house. And
Welcome, Slay.
Hi,
oh, hi
Slay.
Slay.
Hey, Slay.
And I think it's also a thing of the past, having your own land and stuff like that. It's just it was dying out very fast, like the generation that is called the boomers. There it started that owning land, having own property was getting harder and harder, and then my generation, the millennials, it got even harder, and now the new generations, it's actually almost impossible.
So
At least you are fucking rich as fuck.
I just want to take a moment and remind everyone again, we are monetized, both Rumble and YouTube, as well as I provided an alternative way if you want to show your appreciation. Besides that, I want to say if you have a Rumble account, jump on Rumble, say something to help me meet my metrics there, and
Oh
I
my
would be
god, I
grateful.
forgot.
And thank you for that.
But yeah, that's why people that people's grandparents and things, they always said that if you have land, you hang on to that shit for dear life,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
it's so damn hard to come by.
Well, I
It's
own a
still in the
little.
family.
I own my own little, very little spot of land. and it's forested, it has woods there. Oh, and the place I'm on.
Oh,
But
nice.
I also have another little spot of family land. So both spots are quite small spots of land, but my point is I am a landowner.
That's cool because I have fucking bupkis.
And it's your
Ugh.
own damn fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, of course, it's my fault. Yeah,
Yeah. I need
it
to
is
start
my
calling
fault.
I need every time we have Lilith on, I need to start calling this show Lilith Ruins Everything.
Oh, that's awful.
It's fine.
No, no. 'Cause
I'll
it's
read
not
an
true.
article about some bullshittery going on. I'll be like, see this? That's Lilith's fault.
Blame Lilith. Here's the funny thing. I'm used to it. When I was a teen, we had a big party at a grandma's house of a friend of mine. Everyone was going bonkers. Everyone, of course, including me. The only person his grandma never allowed in the home ever again was me. She hated my ass, and I was blamed for everything that gone wrong. The burned fucking table, the broken glasses, all the shit fucking puke in the corners. It was all Lilith, of course. Of course. Everyone was fucking making party and fucking going bonkers, but it was my fault. And that's funny because I was kicked out of so many bars and clubs and stuff. It was always my fault. Mm. So I'm used to it. Go ahead.
Well, not everything's your fault, Lilith.
No, I'm making jokes, but it's
I know.
rooted in truth.
Hi,
I
Frag
actually had
Monkey.
this.
Hey,
Well,
Frank,
There will be.
Frack Monkey.
Oh no! Oh no! Duck! 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 Duck and cover! Grenade! Ah!
Okay, Frag Monkey, if you're late, you need to see a doctor about that. You need to figure out who did it, how this happened.
If Frag Monkey is late, that's a feat of medical science that needs to be put on television because he will be a very rich person.
Oh, this is
Although
so good.
they are working on that very thing in China.
No
You know, it
way.
reminds me when the British
Yeah.
people they'll say things like, they get a hotel or whatever, right? And then the person they're getting it from, they will be like, "I'll knock you up in the morning." And being an American is like that means they're gonna fuck them and impregnate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it means they're gonna knock on their door in the morning.
That's true.
I wouldn't do well in Europe.
Also, Fanny there is the the privates, right? The genitalia area. But Fanny in America is the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a funny thing. I learned the British English first and the American English second, so I know the difference, and I laugh my ass off at times. That's why I like to play with this language so much.
Well, it's fun to play with languages.
Yeah, I'm taking a very retarded
Yeah.
approach to it, but it's fun.
I have had curiosities about the English language, and what I've basically come to find is the English language is a conglomeration of all the other languages. They just borrowed words from all the other biggest languages and smushed them together to make English.
There is some truth to that. I mean, Saxons, I mean, they're actually originally a German tribe. So there will be some connection to German language
Yeah, there's
at
a lot of
this
Latin.
because of the Romans. Yes,
What?
true. Yes. Then there were the Celtics, the natives, so to speak, before the Anglo-Saxons. Saxons.
Yeah,
ruled in.
which brings me to a lot of the Nordic areas have a lot of Native American words in their language.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because the Vikings were the first ones to actually reach North America and even gone back. They had an
Oh
exchange
yeah,
of
I
culture.
used to I used to argue with college students about that, and they'd be pissed off at me as a motherfucker. Now, I believe they teach that now, but they're like calling me a liar and just ate me up. And I used to be the type I would argue with somebody for days, but now I'm like, just fuck off. I don't care. I don't need this.
Well, I
There's no
remember.
arguing about it because there is proven facts that Vikings brought back culture from the native tribes, and
Yeah,
furthermore,
the Yoik
there are
one.
Viking graves and things found in North America.
To my understanding, what happened is they came and they both integrated and fought. The ones who fought lost because they weren't, it was a different territory, right? And they were outnumbered. But the stories that got passed down is that they got obliterated by the natives.
Yeah,
But
that's
there was some who stayed and became part of the natives, and there was some natives that went back with them. They integrated as well.
There's
that's the
stories
thing.
where the
Oh,
certain tribes of the Viking people they had a camaraderie with them, and they liked the Viking people that had the blonde and red hair the
mhm,
most
mhm.
because it
Well,
reminded them of the sun.
okay, one thing that annoys me is they're always like the natives thought everything was a god.
No,
Uh,
no, they
listen,
didn't.
I'm a native. I am literally a member of a tribe. That is not true in anything that I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
They
that's
had
Yeah.
bullshit.
respect for things. They had respect for things, and things were often nature based. But they didn't think that really they didn't have a concept of God. The closest thing they had was the grandfather, is what they called it. But they
Hmm.
didn't worship just anything odd. That
And
was
that's
absolutely
the
false.
thing. Where was the connection? Because the Vikings, they worship the All Father Odin, and here's the thing. Many first was Leif Erikson, was the first one, the son of Eric the Red, that actually made the journey over. Um, Here's the thing with the Vikings and the natives. Some got along, and some fought wars. And Noyce is right. When their wars were fought, the Vikings, funny enough, made fucking damage but lost in the end of the day. But the ones that got along got really along. So there was an exchange of cultures. It was very interesting to see. I mean, I really digged into this, and it's very interesting
But
because
before,
they were friends. They were the Vikings didn't come to colonize; they came to just live there, and the
oh
natives
yeah,
who allowed
a
that,
lot
they
of
were friends. The
modern
natives that
understanding
didn't.
of a lot of modern understanding of Vikings is absolutely false. It's like they
Mm,
would portray them as dirty, ogreish people, and the fact is they were
that's
kind of
such a
clean
bullshit.
freaks. They're kind of clean freaks, and everything they did was in intricate designs.
And
Hmm.
the fact is, did anyone ever understand why Vikings did raids? Because they are actually farmers and want just to have the land. But if you ever were to Norway with all the fjords and all the shit and the mountain areas, there is not much farmable land. That's why
Yeah.
they infight so much. And then someone had the big idea: instead of fucking killing each other, let's just go somewhere else for our resources.
Well,
And
see,
there were
that's
strong
the one
warriors,
reason.
but
That's one reason I do enjoy having Lilith on is because she has a European of that part of the world perspective, which brings insights to things, to topics.
thank you
Well,
very much for that. I mean, I of course, I'm very interested in history, which always needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Which I'm saying is what I learned, not what really is, because history is fickle. Um, but what I know is that Vikings, of course, they were very strong warriors. I mean, their religion was, if you die in battle, go to Valhalla. So there will be that, but end of the day, they just wanted to live peacefully and farm the land and live in peace. That was the actual goal. Um, and there is the nice thing, the exchange, the encounters with the native people. went two ways. If the Vikings go there and want to just farm the land and just live there, and the natives are friendly, they would be friends because there would no issue of conflict be there. But then again, some Vikings are a bit nasty, or some natives were like, no, we don't want you here, and then there were battles. Oh, it's just human
I
nature
know,
in the end of
I
the day.
know. Some people still, some young people in particular, but people still will embrace the Viking religion. I know Phoenix had a friend that was, had adopted the a Viking religion.
Yeah. But I know he had
Here's
a Viking tattoo, like a Viking calendar, I think it was.
Oh, that's
Oh
nice.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah. I mean, he was. I don't know if he'll stay in it, but he was really into the Viking religion. Which one in particular, I couldn't tell you because I'm not into it myself. But yeah, he
Oh,
had
there's only one.
adopted one.
There's
Yeah, I think
only one.
he's
There's
just
only
really into the
one per
culture of it.
se. The funny thing is that German tribes had the same religion, but instead of calling the Old Father Odin, they called him Wotan. But it was the same gods, the same religion. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You'll find that
they
all
were
throughout
one.
history with slight name changes and that kind of thing.
I mean, the Romans just stole the Greek gods and renamed them. But the funny thing about the German tribes and the Nordic tribes is they had the same gods, but because of language, they were called different.
So
But they were
to
the
answer
same.
this, anything that's not Christian based is considered paganism.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
the
it would be
Christians.
considered paganism, but odd enough, Satanism is not paganism. A lot of people may think so, but it falls under the Christian umbrella. It's
Yeah,
a Christian belief.
that's true.
But basically,
Satanism
that is.
wasn't a thing before the Christians came, and the Christians, sadly enough, eradicated every natural so-called
Uh,
pagan gods in all of Europe. They
yeah,
eradicated.
there wasn't Satanism. There were people who worshiped Set or Seti, which is the serpent god, which had a lot of the same tropes to it, if you will. But okay, so I'm gonna try to cover at least one more article here.
Okay. I mean, I could go on
Yeah,
forever on this.
anything that isn't spawned from Christianity is considered paganism.
Ooh, I have one more thing to say before you start, if I may. What really impressed me is at the time, um, the Viking tribes had a better rule of law than the Christians had in England.
Mhm.
Women had more rights. They were free women, and the ruling was harsh but fair. While in the now new Christian countries, it was not, and that is something I want to bring up here because there were human sacrifices in the Viking world, which I think
Oh, I
if
would
it
say in most they had it in some Native Americans, particularly the ones that weren't in America, the Aztecs who were Mexico, right? They
in Middle
they
America, yeah.
in a sense, let's say worship death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Vikings did that to a certain degree too. They were less afraid of death and stuff like that. But here's the thing: I thought this very much about if this religion or paganism or whatever you want to call it, if it would have been left alone, it would have evolved, and the human sacrifices would have vanished with time, and we would have something better, I guess. It's just a
Oh
theory of
yeah,
mine.
we still have pagans today practicing pagans, but of course they're not going to do everything they used to do.
Yeah, um, it's just fascinating to me that the Vikings, who were called the most vile and nasty people in all of Europe, were the ones with the most just laws at the
Yeah,
time.
they had rather progressive ways, to my understanding.
Yeah, actually they did, and that's so fascinating to
And
me.
so did the natives, depending on which tribe you're speaking of, which area in America you're speaking of.
Yeah, there's truth to that. Because there is a very big difference between Norway, Greenland, Iceland, Sweden, and Finland. They operated a bit differently, and you also need consider Denmark, which is on the mainland, as Viking because they were Viking too. Mm. So were so many German tribes at the time. It was all of the north of Europe except
Yeah.
the stupid French people, the froggy eaters. They were an exception, but
Yeah,
all the
I do
north was
have
Viking too.
I do have Viking in my bloodline.
Of
Yeah,
course,
I'm
the native.
mostly Native American, but just like most people, I'm a mutt. There's a lot of people who think they're pure this or that, and if they ever really researched it, they'll find out different. It's
No, no
a
one's
pure
pure.
person is a super rarity.
I will agree with that, and I wouldn't wonder if you have Viking bloods because just because of what I said. The natives and the Vikings have a good history together. There was mixing of bloods, of course. So of course you could have Viking bloods, and I assume as much. I actually do. Maybe I have some native bloods. I don't think so, but it would be possible. It would be.
What was it that on her last stream that Miss Sparkle showed up and what she said she had Italian in her or something?
I
Oh,
think so.
that's not
So
rare.
so well, I made a joke, right? And I'm like, you don't have to tell us what you got in you today. You're gonna have a different bloodline
Oh,
in
it
the
was
future.
Scottish. It was Scottish.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it was Scottish.
Look, and I hope that it didn't offend. I just thought it was the perfect opportunity to make that joke.
It was a good joke. And I
I
I
don't
hope
think she
I
got
hope
offended.
I hope she can take it. Ha ha ha. I
I
mean,
don't
no.
think she got offended.
I don't know. It seems like she takes it all. No, I'm not gonna say that, but no, 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 no. To be real, she's not like that. Uh, she's quite the opposite. So, to my understanding, so these are just jokes.
I
Yeah.
like my sparkles. As Ali
Yeah.
said, she's a tornado of sparkles. When she
Yep. A
comes in the
tornado.
room, it's just now it's sparkle time. I really like her.
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
do.
sorry noise. Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump into this next article, which is mainly concerning AI, but it's how this AI is applied in this particular instance. Hollywood's hypocrisy exposed as AI hits Robert Redford's funeral. Now you young ones probably don't know who Robert Redford is,
I
but he
know.
was way back in the day. He was considered a heartthrob, and I think he got caught up in a scandal where he was like with an underage girl or something. Isn't that right?
I don't remember
Or
now.
maybe it was he got with a man. Whatever. He was in a scandal, but he used to be like one of the big name stars and a heartthrob. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that's him
here
there.
he is.
Yeah. So, Robert Redford passed away in September. Tributes poured in for the star of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and Ordinary People. Some of those tributes were fake. Artificial intelligence created images of funerals and quotes that never happened. Amy Redford, his daughter, posted on Instagram she called the fakes fabrications. Fans sent love from around the world. Still, she condemned AI images of her father and the family renderings of my dad, who clearly has no say and no depictions of my family that do not represent anyone in a positive light and extra challenging during a difficult time. She wrote, "Imagine, imagine your parent dies, one of them, right? And everybody's sending you AI crap images of them. What I think that would piss most people off.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And so
That is nasty.
no public funeral took place, which means there's no way these can be real, right? Family deserve to grieve on their own terms. Every family should have the ability to mourn, represent the person they lost, and pay homage in the way that fits their values and family culture best. Amy Redford said, "Why would anyone use AI to fake a man's funeral? How does that honor his life?"
A
Well,
very
I
good
mean, I
point you
remember
made.
when Ozzy passed away, there was a lot of AI junk going around about his funeral. Lots of,
Yeah,
and I just thought that was just this. It was tacky, you know. It was just
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is distasteful. I mean, here's the thing, which is very interesting. I'm a person that don't give a shit about burial rights and all of this. I really don't care for that. I think it's a man-made up bullshit, and I really don't give two shits. But even I can see how disrespectful and nasty that is.
I kind of can see both sides of that. I can see how it's a man-made concept and it really don't mean shit, but at the same time, I can see you should respect it because it's their way of mourning and their way of
Yes.
respecting one who once lived and it was great in their life. So I can see both sides of it, and I fall on the respecting end. Even though I can see both sides, I will still respect it.
Yo, I was talking about myself, of course. I will respect other people's customs, and I will not be what it is called disrespecting the graves and the dead and stuff like that. I will not do that. Why would I do that? That's just nasty. It's just to me, my person. I think there's no value in it, but that's my choice. That's why I never
Okay, so
attended the funeral so far, because to me it means nothing. But I
yeah, I understand
understand and
that.
respect the other people who need that, and I will not mock them or do anything nasty.
Well,
And
it's
making
like
an AI movie like that is disrespectful in my mind.
it's like the last funeral I went to, my uncle's, and we got there and they had his ashes in an urn. And then some people was like, they felt good they could come and show respect. Then my father, which was his brother, he's like, I came all the way out here and I didn't get to see him. He wanted to take one last look at the body and feel the feelings from it.
Hmm.
And I get that, I get it, but I guess my point is people handle it in different ways.
Of course, as they should. I mean, you need to stay true to your soul and to your being. Going back on the issue with the cowards that are not standing by what they really think and say and will flip flop because of out of fear. It is the same thing, but it's a different thing. You will need to always listen to your soul, and some people just don't care for burials. Others want to make a final stand and talk their feelings to a corpse, and
Okay,
and
so
and so on.
this article goes on about other famous people. Zelda Williams, the daughter of the late comedian Robin Williams, also recently asked people to stop sending her artificial intelligence videos that imitate her father. She calls the images and clips gross and disgusting. And acclaimed actor Morgan Freeman says AI is robbing me. And I gotta agree with them. I mean,
True.
doing it while they're alive and they're putting themselves out there for the public is one thing, but when you're doing this, making these bad copies, and the people's passed away, the family's not gonna like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially in the case of Robin Williams. I mean, he offed himself. I mean, that's extra nasty. And
Well,
Morgan
no, he had
Freeman
a
is more like a brand now.
he
It's a
had a condition to where he didn't want to burden his family anymore, and he was probably in such suffering. I can understand it. I'm not
yeah.
encouraging somebody offing themselves, but I'm just saying I can understand it.
sorry,
What he
Phoenix.
No,
I
had
cut
was
you
it
off.
was
Phoenix
terminal.
wanted to say something, and I cut him off. I'm so sorry.
if Phoenix, you got something to say?
No, I said it. I don't remember what it was now, but I already said it.
Well,
Okay, well,
Oh my God,
Morgan
I fucked it
Freeman
up.
Morgan Freeman he gets probably the mainstay of his money from voiceovers, and
Hmm.
now AI is doing it, and yes, it is literally robbing him.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's actually right. He's now a brand that everyone copies. He's now like no, it's actually a bad thing. If you are the person that gets ripped off, I cannot imagine how that feels. It must be like what did I fucking do, or what did I work for, and now everyone can just take my image, my voice, because Noise is right. He got really in the last years very much popular and famous for his voice. And now people are just using it, and I would be pissed too, to be honest. I mean, I have an ugly voice, but if someone steals it, I would be like, what the fuck?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some more on here. AI grabs images without asking. It builds fake scenes from real photos. James Cameron warns about AI doomsday one day, then joins its board to slash budgets the next. They howl in public. They sneak in the back doors to save cash, so they're all jumping on the AI bandwagon. A24 caught heat for the Civil War poster. Fans spotted AI traces. The Screen Actors Guild fights AI voice clones. Now AI actress like Tilly Norwood, which is a completely AI person, will soon appear in projects. They work cheap and endless. Celebs beg the Trump administration to block AI job loss. And I agree that this AI needs to be reined in. Everything in 10 years, everything we see and hear is going to be AI.
It's
Yeah, and
getting
it's gonna
out
be
of
all fake
control.
as fucking fuck. That's the issue here. It's a real
It's
So,
issue.
getting out of
yeah,
control.
it says Hollywood wants control. It sues over IP theft, but deploys AI for profits. Why the double standard? At some point, art without the artist is just a cheap trick. I applaud these families for speaking up, but I think there is little else they can do about it. And yes, that's true. And it's also true that these studios are going, AI is hurting us, but then they're using AI. That's capitalism for you. One.
Yeah,
End
that
of
is
the day,
very true.
greed always wins. That's the sad thing about the human race is that of all the seven deadly sins, and yes, I'm not religious, greed is the most destructive and prominent one, and it really shows again with the AI bullshit. And
Well,
and
I don't think the seven deadly sins originated with religion. I could be mistaken, but I don't believe so.
Yeah, well, I just was throwing this out that I'm not religious, and I think the seven deadly sins are just human faults or missing the mark, which I said again and again is the old Greek word for sin. Sin means missing the mark. And if you are a fat fucking gluttonous, or if you're lustful, a whore, or something like that, yeah, you're missing the mark because that's not a way to live your life. So yeah, deadly sins is the Bible verse of it, but it's just human nature. It's the things where you can go wrong really hard. But getting back to the AI bullshit, I mean, if they are disrespecting dead actors or copying live actors and making it at times flop, but at times so good that it actually rivals that. And if there is an AI actress that actually will be used, okay, don't you see the real issue here? I mean, we have fake news already. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Imagine what
just
you can
another.
do with AI to fucking make fake news.
Oh yeah, they're gonna run rampant with it. I mean, now now you can't believe everything you see with your own eyes
Yeah, that's
because
the
there's
point
no
I was getting
telling
to.
if it's AI or
Okay,
not.
here is this Tilly Norwood, pure AI, who is a AI actress.
Yeah, and who if I wouldn't be informed about this and I look at this, I would just think, yeah, that's a new actress.
Yeah.
Whoever, whatever. But you will not question the reality of it, and that's a
Well, I
real
mean,
issue.
at a glance, they look like a real person. Just at a
Hmm.
glance, you can't. If
I
you didn't
mean,
know it was AI, you would just think it was
Well,
another
I
person.
also have a concern AI with perverts, and I don't mean just people with
Oh,
weird fetishes. I mean perverts. Can you imagine? Okay, not only people doing animal and child stuff, but a coworker, your neighbor, and they're making you an AI, and
yeah, deep
oh
fakes it's
yeah,
called. It is
yeah.
Johnny Somali. If you remember those motherfucker piece of shit, He is now incarcerated in South Korea, and his biggest charge is that he did make a deep fake sex tape of a Korean girl, and that one will break his neck and keep him there for 20 years. That's the real one, and it was actually well made. That's the scary thing. As Ali said, if you can't trust your eyes anymore, or what can you do? Because here's the thing: if I research something, yeah, if something happens on this planet and I get news about it, yeah, the left wing media and the right wing legacy media, they will lie out of their ass, so they cannot be trusted. So how do I find out the truth? Well, I need to try to find actual footage of a certain event to confirm what really happened. But that is now impossible because
Yeah.
AI can fucking fake it. So you will have no more knowledge. You will be lied to 24/7. Nothing will be real anymore. I don't see why people don't see this issue. I mean, it was hard enough to find kind of the truth because we never found the truth in the first place in most cases anyway, neither in history nor in recent events. But now it's really so fucked up that I can't trust anything anymore, and I'm getting actually a kind of scared. I mean, that's just me, but what are your thoughts about this? Because this is escalating fast.
I think people need to step away from technology in general, and I see the irony. And I'm staring at a camera and it's going out to people, and I'm steeped in tech right now. I do see the irony, but I fully encourage everybody to, as much as you can, break away from technology. If people are making this crap say of you, at least you won't be seeing it and tortured by it. Just somebody will make you aware, and then you file charges or whatever. But whatever the case, I think technology has gotten to the point to where it's purely unhealthy for our minds and, if you will, souls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's
completely
good to
agree.
take
Yes.
you have to take a break from it every now and then and get some,
So,
what's
hey, Charlie
needed.
Nuclear, do you like the latest iteration of the Snatch?
That's a good question. Yeah, Charlie, do you like the new Snatch? The new
No,
and improved.
it's still the same old dirty Snatch. It's just got a new soundtrack behind it.
The improved. Well, it got some sleep. I mean,
I'm just waiting for YouTube to be like, you can't play that. Somebody is copyrighted it.
oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't
I would not
either.
be surprised at all.
Here's the thing about
But
YouTube.
YouTube has gone off the deep end.
Yeah, I
I
was
mean,
Well,
going
I'm
here
gonna get some
lately.
sleep. I'm starting to fall asleep over here, so I'm just gonna get off here and get some sleep.
Wait, what was that? You're farting to fall asleep?
What did he
I'm starting
say?
to fall asleep.
like I've stated before, if there's a
Gotcha.
joke to be made, I'm gonna make it. Don't take it
Yeah,
personally.
as it
Hmm.
should be. That's if someone lines himself up for a perfect joke, he needs to take the chance. I also heard fart.
I did too.
Okay, look, Phoenix, look, go curl up with your pussy over there and sleep. Have a nice sleep.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Phoenix.
I think maybe you took what I said a little personal, but it really is all in fun.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
it
I'll get
is. And
over it.
actually, I actually heard fart. I
I
really
did too.
did
I
hear it
did.
audibly. I actually instantly knew he was starved.
Well,
And
okay, to be fair, if you let out all your gas before you go to sleep, you will sleep better.
That is true.
I
Mhm.
was told that when I'm asleep and I had a feast, that I'm farting like an accordion, and that is really embarrassing. But I'm asleep, so what do I care?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, Slay. I know what you mean. I damn near can't show anything, and every time it'll be like, oh, you can't play that. It's copy, so I'll change it. and then it's like, well, yeah, now it's good, now it's safe for like a week, and then suddenly again it'll be like, you can't play this, so I'll have to edit it again. And and then if I play a fucking commercial or something, it's like, God damn, YouTube is get off my ass.
Slay, it's not only you, and YouTube at the moment is very much in turmoil. Because funny enough, because of the AI, because they use AI, and now even channels with a million subs are just demonetized or even fucking permabanned with a snip of a finger for no reason. So
Well, yeah,
if I for some reason are just gone, it would be because I wrote some comments in some fucking video.
there's a lot of very safe YouTube channels out there getting wiped out.
Yeah.
Wiped out. And then there's people like us who will be a touch controversial, nothing bad, but just a touch. And it's like, we're not even looking your way. But guess what? We're not sending people your way either.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, I see a big issue with this AI control. I mean, see, if you have an issue as a content creator, if you overstep the line or whatever, you should be able to make your case, have a good talk with actual humans, and for example, a copyright claim or something like that. But now when it's ruled by AI, it just does whatever. And when I say whatever, I mean it. It is actually really random. I watched this for a long time now, and it is actually random, and that's
Yeah.
no good at all.
So no one wants to hear the "Lick My Crack" song.
I like it. I laughed my ass off.
Well, if that is, if YouTube don't have a fit and be like, you can't play that, I'll play it again as motivation. If I get a very nice donation, I will play this clip for you. And here we go.
Hey boy, drop them pants. Got one dirty dance. Don't use your polite face. Get down to my taste. Eat my crack from the back. Lick it deeper, don't hold back. I want you lower on your knees. Come on, baby, say please. Bent over, skirt up high. Spread my thighs on my. Don't waste no time, babe. Eat that treat. Behave, eat my crack from the back. Lick it deep.
Yeah, it's a little mesmerizing.
Just a little bit.
I like it. I like it. It kind of reminds me when I was on Cassie's shows in the chat. She had this weird song where there were burning titties, like or kicked in the crotch and stuff like that. It was the same style of music, but the lyrics were really nasty and funny. It was glorious, and it reminds me of that. It was fun.
Oh yeah, and we're closer to the end of the show, but and also if anybody wants to give a donation and a request for the snatch, here's a taste. Here's a taste of the snatch. I don't want to taste it. You can taste it.
Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it is better this way. We hurt each other with the things we want to say. We could have been so good together. We could have lived this dance forever. But now who's gonna dance with me?
Hey, Rhoda. I know. I believe Rhoda is either busy or sleeping, one of the two.
He says he's getting ready for.
Rhoda. Oh yeah. I told everyone.
Get to the snatch.
Yeah, it's Arnold's voice in the song.
Of course, I can't do the voice or the accent. It's just doesn't jive with me.
I can't either, and I'm Austrian, but I'm not from the Steiermark. I'm from Vienna. I cannot do the Steiermark accent. Get to the chopper. No, that doesn't work. I'm not. Da fliegt der Mama ja ab. So.
Yeah,
Nah, I can't
there
do
you
it.
go, Charlie Nuclear. You got the idea.
I need to remember this one. I need to show my
Get to the
hand. He
snatch.
will be. What the fuck? It's the Eye of Sauron, but down there. Okay.
No, I always said that was the portal to hell because of the stuff that comes out of it and the stuff that goes into it. It's all nasty. I mean, everybody's most infamous person, Adolf, came out of one of those. You got to consider that. I mean, like, yeah, he was a bad man. He was a bad man. Guess what he came out of? Guess what we all came out of? That's got to be the portal to hell.
Okay, I have a hot take about Adolf Hitler. He is not the worst person. Tyrants will always be the same. He was the most efficient one,
Well,
and that's why he's seen as the worst, because there is no difference between him, Saddam Hussein,
yeah, there
Alexander the
were
Great,
people
or
who
Genghis
killed
Khan.
much more.
Actually,
There,
Genghis Khan killed way more, and that was in
yeah.
ancient times. He was just efficient,
But
and
here's a
why
saying
people
that,
say it is bad. Of course, he was a bad people, because tyrants always are bad people.
well,
But
there's a saying that nature abhors a vacuum. People's like, if I could time travel, I'd kill them and that'd save something. No, if you take out somebody in that position, there's thousands waiting to fill it that will likely be worse.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's nothing special. The only thing special about Adolf Hitler is that at this time in age of the human race, they were military. Well, they were fancy. They had stuff no one else had. Their war machinery was really good, and that was depending on the First World War in the first place. There are, of course, the echoes of finding alien tech in the Schwarzwald. Um, there are many theories, but the fact is, why was he so efficient? Yeah, because of technology. He changed warfare forever. The Second World War was initiated by the Germans and their technology, and warfare changed forever again. I mean, the First World War already did that to a certain degree. Yeah, it's just human nature, and calling him the worst person ever, I don't understand really, because there are so many tyrants in the history
Well,
of.
there's some who kill more people who they held as heroes, but he's just a popular reference because America was involved, and but
Yeah, and
anyway,
it's more recent, and I admit the numbers are staggering, but he's not the one with the highest numbers.
yeah, not near it. Yeah.
Genghis
Uh,
Khan
I was gonna
way worse.
ask your show with Rhoda. I haven't seen you two put on a show in a while now. Have you still been doing the shows?
It is like that. We will and we do, but last week, Rhoda and I, we were both kind of upset and not able to do it. He had work stuff, and I cannot do it without him anyway. It was just a little break from things, but the show is going on, of course, and if New Year's come and Rhoda has more time, we are going in full gear. We are at the moment just testing out,
Well,
doing.
apparently the word's out there that I've quit this show. There's people think that I don't do this show anymore. I quit the groups I was in, but I've not missed a day doing this show.
You did not.
I wonder who got that rumor started because it's news to me. I mean, my God, we're sitting here doing it, so
I wonder who. I wonder why. There will
yeah. I
be
mean,
shit in the
somebody's got
sky.
their information wrong.
Well, majority of these groups, I'd sit on them for like, I don't know, a year. Nobody talked to me. I would comment now and then. Didn't matter. It's like, this, these people in this group, they're not advertising my shit. What am I doing here, right? But that's not why I left. I left because I just needed a moment of space, some breathing room. I didn't want to have to keep up with it. Everything that was going on, I just needed to, a mental reset, right? But now it's like, oh, noise. He quit. That's it. What?
No,
I missed the show.
the owl didn't quit. The knowledge and wisdom is still there for all of our enjoyment. So it
Yep,
is, and so it
we're
will.
still here, and Big Shirley will be here on Thursday.
Big
She's not
shit.
here right now. I mean, she's still. I still have her, but she's sleeping right now, so I'm not going to wake her up
Well,
and
yeah.
get that
No,
tornado
no,
started.
don't do that. She's a local
Also,
friend, very
none
happy.
of these people have reached out to me to ask me back in the groups, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with. All I'm saying is, am I wrong or is that a little telling?
No, no. Here's the funny thing. People unintentionally often show their face mask off, and that's a good thing. You always need to look at the good thing of issues or situations like that. People show you who they really are, and that's very valuable.
True, but I mean, as far as the rumor going around that we have quit doing the shows
Yeah,
and stuff, no,
there's
that's just not
also
true.
a rumor which I know who started. Is basically like, oh, my panel left me. That no. I've been toying with the idea of scaling down. Even me and Elijah did a few shows with just me and her. We've been toying with this idea for months. Uh, yeah, it was sudden. That much I'll say. It was sudden, but it wasn't an insult to anyone. But as anyone who runs panels out there knows, having like 8 or 10 people on your panel is stressful. It can get crazy, right? And it started feeling like the Jerry Springer show, and that's not what I wanted for this channel.
Yeah, it started feeling like the Jerry Springer show of the internet. So
Yeah, I understand. I always was very much aware of this situation. I mean, I overtalk people just because there are so many people, and that's an issue.
yeah,
So again, thanks for having me back. I mean, you don't have to, but I always glad to be here.
No, well, like I mentioned before, it's always good to have your unique perspective, but it is also helps fill the show out.
yeah,
And we are
that's true.
friends. We are friends, so there's that too, of course.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I will have your back
Yeah,
always.
to the protest of the entirety of the internet, I still have Lilith around, and maybe I just suck. Maybe I suck. Maybe I'll never be successful. Boo-hoo. I don't give a fuck. This is a hobby. This is something to, take a little bit of time, something to work on. A little personal project. I'm not gonna forsake people to climb the pole.
yeah.
The pole is greasy. Who wants that? That's gross.
Well, I don't know who wants greasy poles.
Yeah, I know some people, but I myself would say that's kind of gross. I mean, if you want to climb the greasy pole here, why not go out in the real world, sell your soul and your morals, and rise above society and be a politician or something like that? I mean, that's what it sounds to me. If your um, value in life is having status and money, if that's all you are, yeah, well, go for it.
Yeah,
Enjoy
yeah,
your life.
laptops are more unreliable than they've ever been. That is true, unless you get maybe like the top,
Oh no,
expensive ones.
Slay, no. He's so fucked. Oh, I'm so sorry, Slay. His PC go down, he buys a new laptop, and this shit fucking breaks in 20 minutes. Oh, this reminds me of very bad
Well,
things.
I
Oh,
I used to be a technician. When I say used to be, it was decades ago. I've let a lot of that go, but you know, if I could help, I would. I sure would.
I'm so sorry, Slay. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
But
if it has an NVIDIA card, I have heard of reports that the latest driver package that came out just like days ago is causing black screens, and you have to probably boot in the safe mode and revert it to the previous release of NVIDIA drivers. I have heard of that issue happening lately.
oh, I didn't do the new driver. I'm very suspicious of updates and drivers in general. I'm keeping mine as long as possible because why would I install a new NVIDIA driver when the game that I play isn't on it? It doesn't make
Well,
any sense in the first
that's why
place.
I like Linux, right? You boot in Linux, you don't have to install a graphics driver. Shit just works.
Yeah, it just
In
works.
Oh, that
Linux,
sounds
you
cool.
don't have to go, oh, I got to install this application, this application. You have a package manager that updates everything the moment there's a new release. Of course, you get to choose whether you want to update or not, but you
Oh,
can
that's
update
dangerous.
everything on your computer in one swipe.
That fucked my Fallout 4 game, the auto patch, because Bethesda is a bag of dicks, and they released the patch that kills all your
Okay,
mods
so
because they are vindictive fucks.
Ryzen refers to the AMD processor, unless you mean a hybrid, which the video was Radeon based. Radeon drivers are, I think they're a little bit more buggy. If you're on Windows, if they're on Linux, they're fucking great. But on Windows, the Radeon drivers and the software you get with it is buggy as shit.
I need to excuse myself. I'll be right back. Please wait me. It's not long. I'll be right back.
That's always a sign that they're going to be going a long ass time.
Well, that's okay because I mean we're about to be at the end anyway.
You probably had to go take a dump. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's bad. Get a brand new laptop and it quit within 20 minutes. I hope you can get a refund, Slay.
Yeah, how did it quit? Did it refuse the power on? Did it refuse to boot in the Windows? What's the issue?
And welcome to Noise Pollution Technical Support.
No, I literally I worked in computers for decades, and a short stint working tech support for Dell.
Mhm.
But yeah, I worked in computers since the 90s. Although I did kind of stop doing that in the last couple of decades.
Well, you know, it's kind of like with mechanics. They work on so many vehicles. They will just get one that
Well,
works. They don't want
I
to mess
worked
with it anymore.
I worked as a bouncer once for a gynecologist. And I remember him telling the stories. Of course, they're not supposed to talk about it, but they do, of their gynecology job. And yeah, it's like he's seen so much pussy that he pukes at the sight of it now.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah. I remember he said he couldn't touch his wife anymore.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, lover dose.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm back.
it's
Oh,
fucking
what?
capitalism. They outsource all their tech support to India now. Yeah. Hello, may I help you? No, I can't do the accent, but it was like, what?
How would you rate our
Give me a
customer
human to talk
service?
to.
You need to rate our customer service. Don't you know the South Park episode with the VR headset with the customer service bullshit? That is the perfect South Park episode for exactly this. South Park was
Okay.
really good. The new
Okay,
season.
what-
is
What he's describing sounds like a hardware issue. There's some piece of hardware that's causing a whole bunch of software fuck ups. Whatever's wrong with your laptop is a hardware issue. I can about guarantee it. It may be a stick of RAM or it may be something worse, but it sounds like you have a hardware issue that's causing all your software to go fucking haywire. Also, make sure you have the right power adapter, and that it's plugged into what it's plugged into is a good source. But yeah, it sounds like a hardware issue. I know the Mac, the Apple ecosystem is a solid one, but I don't like it. For one, it feels like it's for elitists. For another, it locks you in to where you're paying out the ass. It's like, oh, you got to Apple compatible, and you got to pay 10 times more, and yeah, fuck Apple.
Seriously, it comes from the horse's butt. That's what the fucking Apple says.
I get it. Apple provides a smooth experience. I don't deny that much of their hardware is good, much of their software is solid, but it's the company and how they run things. Fuck Apple.
They're like a brand. It's like you
Yeah,
can buy
yeah.
a
It doesn't
really
run
good
on
speaker.
electricity. It runs on your credit cards.
It is just you're paying so much for the fucking brand. It is ridiculous, and then it's so exclusive or inclusive or whatever word you want to use that most shit doesn't work because it's Apple. It's coming from the horse's butt, so fuck off. You need to eat horse shit now. Seriously,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
these
The
days,
same with the iPad and everything, and I suck. That's what I hear. You
these
buy
days,
Apple.
there's a lot of things
I
that
hear I
Apple
suck.
computers can't do that Windows can do and Linux can do, but Apple, they just kind of limit it. It's kind of limited. What it does great, but it don't do much.
Yeah, because it's so exclusive. It's like a club of elitist bullshit persons, and normal functions will be just declined in the first place, and you need to pay for every single step all the way. They will drain you dry of your money for the brand, for every action, for everything. It's
But
just disgusting.
yeah, that is a benefit there, but there are still some places you'll run into limitations. But rather than running a pure Windows, but yeah, just before I forget, welcome Lover Dose Inc. We are right near the end of the show, but yeah, welcome Bloody Face and all.
Yeah, someone put an X in your head, or what happened there?
And somebody
Are
come
you
up to them,
zombie?
they're like, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I kinda look like that.
And they'll be like, did it hurt?
I will be like, nope. No, it's a cool
Okay.
picture. It's a cool picture.
No, every operating system has its advantages, every one of them, and
That's true.
disadvantages. Whichever way you go, everybody's gonna be like, you should have went this other way, and that's the unfortunate truth of it. Every one of them, Apple's got a smooth system, and it's also smooth, and they have quality hardware, but then you're locked in their Apple ecosystem, and then you will still have the occasional limitations. Windows is kind of sloppy all over the place. Linux is also sloppy all over the place in a whole different kind of way, but each gives you an advantage the other doesn't.
Yeah, you will have more freedom with Windows and Linux than
As
you
far
will
as
have
freedom
with Apple.
goes, you get the most freedom with Linux. Absolutely, Linux is all
Yeah,
about freedom.
yeah, that's the lowest tier of freedom is Apple, then comes Windows, then comes Linux. That's how I see it. And I didn't test it myself because I never had Apple, because I'm not dealing in horse shit, and
So
I didn't try Linux yet.
so my only question is, Lover Doze Inc. says I've been locked into that ecosystem since '08. My only question is, did it hurt? Did they use lube? I don't know. Pick one of those.
Were there horse dicks? If there are horse apples, there needs to be horse dicks too.
Oh, this has got weird real fast.
I'm sorry. But
This is
I
weird.
really think here's the real issue with Apple. Without making jokes, it is like you can buy a really good sneaker, but the same sneaker that is actually of lower quality will cost more because there is the Nike or the
Oh yeah.
Adidas
Oh yeah.
brand
I
on it,
often
and the same
I,
thing you have with Apple.
yeah, I often speak on here about I come from poor people. Oh my God. Oh no, he's one of those poors. Fuck off. But I have pointed that out. Being poor costs more because you can't afford that extra for that better quality stuff. So you get the cheap stuff because you literally cannot get the better stuff. So you get the cheap stuff. Guess what? It breaks. It whatever. It's gone. So you gotta get the cheap crap again. Now you've paid double. If you were able to afford the higher tier, it would have lasted way longer. Ultimately, it cost more to be poor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Um, I have a very good example for that. I don't know if people remember this, but when Blu-ray came out, the Blu-ray players were really expensive. They're not anymore.
Hey,
No one
Rhoda,
gives
go
a
make
shit.
that money. Just be sure to wash your crack afterward. Wait, no,
What?
no, no. But seriously, thanks for coming by.
Bye, Rhoda. Thanks for showing by. Ah, he's such good people. You know this. And thank you, Ali. Me and Rhoda were very happy that you complimented us the last stream, saying that we work well together, because we actually do. Um, I shouldn't say this online, but I will do anyway because I don't care. Um, I really like you guys, and I really like some other people. That's rare in between, but of all the people I met so far, Rhoda and I maybe be kind of soulmates. Really get along. Like we are on the same vibe of things most of the
Mhm.
time, and we have so deep conversations almost daily. We get to know each other really fast. I introduced him to my husband already, and my husband likes him, which is rare because he hates me being online. He really does. Yeah. But yeah, that needs to be said. I'm really glad that I met him, and that he um, dared to be my friend, because most people don't dare.
Well, the thing about me is I've always been described as a cactus. You cannot get close to me without getting hurt.
Yeah,
I'm
that is
okay
true.
with that. I don't care for the pain. That's why I'm here. You stung me, and I didn't care because I understood why. So there's no issue whatsoever. Never was.
And I'm also kind of known for self sabotage. But this latest thing was not that. Maybe a little, but mostly not. It was mostly I needed a breather. It was like I was too involved, and I just need to take a step back. And the best way you can do that is be like, I'm leaving these groups and taking a step back, because otherwise you're going to be pulled right back in, even if you don't want to be.
If I may speak, I
I
think you
knew
should.
the
Hey,
virgin.
neurodivergent one, make sure to hit that follow and smash that thumbs up, peeps.
Wait, is
Thank you.
this faking? I like
Thank you,
faking.
neurodivergent one. And welcome.
Hi.
Although we
He's
are
faking signs
near
with
the end,
something.
we are near the end of the show
Yeah,
now.
I know. I was wanting to say something here. I think in the last iteration of issues, all you did is stand up for people and do what your soul told you to do. You did nothing wrong at all. Like 100%, I'm on your side of
Well,
actions.
it's not like I just took it upon myself. I had more than a dozen people coming to me asking me to make a stand.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like, hey, I'm just gonna jump in the way and be like,
Mm-mm,
fuck you,
mm-mm.
and no,
But that is exactly what I'm talking
it was
about.
kind of put on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm exactly talking about. People who trust you, talk to you, ask you what the fuck is up with that, and you stood up for them, and that's very commendable, and I will never forget it. It is to me at least, it shows how much more worth you are, even if
Show
others
strength
don't
of
see it.
character.
Yes, yes, that really impressed me, to be honest. And I'm not easily impressed.
Well, Nero Loverdose is kind of behaving. I'm just, but they can only behave for so long, and then they got to be naughty. Yeah.
I mean, I can be the most naughty person on the fucking internet if I wanted to, but I can behave. I can. I never was naughty yet. Isn't that fun? Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Okay, I
Well,
take
I don't know.
myself
I
in the
mean,
lie.
I've got to think something funny about anybody who's all into the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you. Why do you like bullshit? It comes from the horse's butt. Don't you know in German, horseshit is called a Pferdeäpfel, which means a horse apple. So when I hear apple, I think
Well,
about horseshit.
maybe that's his fetish.
Oh, ew. Oh, look. Mm-mm.
Yum yum.
No, no. Mm-mm. We'll be having none of that. No.
At times it's fun to pull out my native language and make some jokes because the German language is very descriptive, very philosophical, and exceptionally poetic. Because it has more words than any other language. The only ones that come close are the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the English language is good and I like it. I even like it more than German, but I need to just be honest here.
No,
Uh,
every operating system has every hardware device. They require drivers. Now it might be pre-installed, but it most definitely requires drivers, and it does update them as well. I don't know how much in the tech you are into it, but yeah, all of them have to have drivers.
that's true, but
That
here's the thing.
reminds me, I think I have forgotten to update my drivers in quite a while.
That's what I
No,
was getting
no,
to.
you're on the older computer, and I don't even think it will update. It's the old piece of shit Dell.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I'm all right then.
You
But
have
I
it
keep
now.
forgetting
I
to
mean,
do it.
that computer is, I don't know, maybe 12 years old.
Hey, it works.
The doggy
And
agrees.
when it don't, I won't be on the computer anymore.
Okay, noise correct me if I'm wrong, but here's the thing that I always thought about drivers, be it for the system or the graphic cards or whatever. Um, as long as it works, don't fix something that works. I hate updates. I hate driver updates. I hate it. If I don't need to do them, as long as nothing breaks, I will avoid them like the pest. Is
Well,
that stupid or smart?
no, if it works, it works. But Apple Mac OS, the desktop operating system, is under the hood is FreeBSD. which shares a code base with Linux. It's a great bit the same code. It's like Linux's, sibling. Right there, virtually the same damn thing. What Apple does is they put a shiny decoration on top and smooths things out. But yeah, it's running a Unix or a Unix-like system.
They took a horse shit on the Apple. That's why it's called Apple. I cannot let this go. Seriously. I really
See what Linux is not Unix. It's a Unix clone. But anyway, I don't get on all of that. That I could go on a while.
Yeah, you are actually very tech savvy. That's very good to have. Um, I'm not.
Well, the thing about me is I'm not technically minded.
Yeah,
If I try to do anything like fix a computer or anything, it's going to break. That's just the law that I
Yeah,
work with. I mean, I can't help it.
Linux is good, but it's funny. Like you have to try different distros or distributions to see what works best with your hardware and to see which one fits your needs better, because there's different versions, which is a different mix of it. So you might try it and go, "Oh fuck, this sucks so bad. I never thought it could be this bad. It just fucked my shit up." No, you have to know a little bit what you're doing, and you have to try different distros so you find one that jives well with your hardware and with what you do.
it's kind of like playing Path of Exile. You need to research which build you need to succeed. That's what I get of Linux. If you are going in blind, you will fuck up because of just taking some random, it will fuck your shit up. But if you take the
Yeah.
right one, it will run better than Windows. That's what
I
I'm hearing.
I've been a computer technician, freelance, and for Dell. I've never paid anyone to do any kind of computer work for me.
I
Um,
do.
but I'll say it's a curse. It's a curse. You got to have so much crap in your head at once and working gears, so many working gears. I decided to let it go, and then I pursued different avenues of income.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, well, but you always could go back to this knowledge and keep on doing this. And why do I have baby flies in my fucking apartment now? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Where are they
wait a minute. You
coming
got
from?
what?
There was just a little baby fly flying in my face. I tried to snap it, but I fucking missed. I
yeah. Well,
hate
good
flies.
thing you're not in where we're at in the South in America, because flies are fucking everywhere.
Yeah, they're awful.
I
They're
hate
awful.
them. I hate them. Okay? I really do. And now I'm older. Fucking I don't get them anymore. I was so fast and now I'm so slow. I hate this. Well, that's the punishment you get when you don't train for 10 years. You're getting slow.
Well, I'm a lot slower than I used to be, but I can still be kind of quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, other people are really slow. I mean, they were snails to me when I was young. Now they're kind of turtles, but I'm still faster. But those baby flies, those motherfuckers are really fast. It dodged my attack. Piece of shit. Where is it gone now? I want to kill you. Come back again here. You have no place
The
in
thing
my
about the flies is a fly life cycle. By the time you kill them, there's going to be a bunch more hatched, and
Yeah.
their life
yeah,
cycle's so quick.
but I have no. Where is it coming from? I mean, I don't understand. And I mostly never have flies. I'm so
Well, those
confused.
little shits, I mean, they're smart too. People think flies are stupid, but they're not. They'll
No, they're
see you
not.
killing killing some more of them, and then they'll go and land on something and they will try to blend. Yeah. And then they'll
Mhm.
come out when you put the fly swatter away.
Yeah, well, the issue is, I always like to sit in the dark. I
On
mean,
what Loverdo said here, I had people bringing me their computers, and then sometimes the fix might take a week straight of working on it, because they didn't just want it, new replacement, do it the easy way. They wanted to actually get into it and fix what's existing there without losing data and all this, right? So sometimes it'd take a week, and then I had to be like, well, I worked a week on it, I'm going to charge you this much, and it'd still be an incredibly cheap price for a week's work, and they wouldn't want to pay it. That's the problem I had, is everybody wanted to be like, oh, $5 for a week's work. No, fuck you. Try to keep their computer, then they got people coming after you trying to shoot you. Then they're trying to bring the cops in. It's like, you know what? Fuck this.
$5. Are you serious? They offered you $5 for fixing their computer over a week days of work. This
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
fucking disgusting. This is disgusting. I'm okay. I'm asking you a genuine question here. How did you manage not to murder this person? How?
It wasn't just one person, it was a bunch of people.
So what? Killing multiples isn't an issue if they're weak, and they're all weak most of the time. So what? No, it's about the mindset. It's about the mindset. The disrespect was so great. How did you manage to not go bonkers? Because I would have, even if I died, even if I was beaten, even I was the one that loses, I would have fucking jumped their faces and fucking bite them in the fucking face. I would have done.
Yeah, well, here you don't just deal with the person, you deal with their whole bunch, and they're all armed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I see the difference. Here, the people don't have the firearms. Here will
Here
be
it's like the
blades.
Wild West. Everybody's got a
Yeah,
firearm.
here in the South, in America, in North America to be specific, everyone's got a gun. Everyone.
Mm. Yeah, I need to say something very contradictory here. I think the invention of guns, rifles, whatever you want to call it, firearms altogether, it took out the fun of violence because it took away the skill. Okay, listen to me for a second here, to
Well, it
understand
took
what I'm
away
saying.
people being able to take up for themselves, because suddenly now you got a gun in your face.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, okay, that's not the issue, but I was talking about natural and rightful combat in the first place, and that was skill based. Um, Now it isn't. What I was trying to get to is, after training blades for 20 years, I'm still not a master. It took me like 5 minutes to hit a mark on 300 meters with a rifle, to understand the mechanics of the firearm. In this case, it was an AUG 77, the Austrian one, which is very famous. My husband was at the military, and he taught me to shoot, and it took me 5 minutes to be able to shoot. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Wielding a sword, I like to call them blades, which in actually means spears, broadswords, short swords, katanas, long swords, whatever, all the blades, many different styles of combat. Those are arts, those are martial, and this kind of thing, actually weapon arts. Those
Mm-hmm.
are real skills you need to hone and train, and even after 20 years, you will not be an actual master. And I want
yeah,
I want I
so
want this back. I want this back. I want fair battles of skill, because
okay,
just
so
pulling a
welcome
trigger
El
is
Alchemy.
nothing. Hi, big brother.
Yeah,
Alchemy.
he's just here because anime night stream crashed, which oh yeah, I guess I'm second fiddle, whatever, But
Oh no, no,
actually
he's
we're at
best friends with anime.
yeah, okay. But we're at the end of the stream actually.
But thanks for showing
But
by.
it's good you stopped by, Alchemy.
Oh yeah, and I know it's annoying to say it, but I gotta say it. Make sure you hit the like.
Yeah, the stream needs to be licked. Lick the stream. Lick it.
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, Lilith, do you guys anything to promote?
Of course, of course. Rhoda and me, we have a new show. It's called The Scheitgeist. We are in the probing and testing area, but at late New Year's, we will have more time and refine it. I will always be at your show if I'm wanted, and support. Um, there will be a big shout out to Will of the Fans. He invites me to play Chatbox at times. I love Will of the Fans. He's good people. Um, Still, I have, of course, my stupid AI music, but I didn't make new ones because I'm kind of angry at the system because it didn't want to make what I want.
You
It
know,
said it is too
this getting
expensive.
this kind of comments always a little funny because that's kind of like oh somebody's father or grandfather is about to die and they're standing at his
Yeah.
bedside while he's still alive and talking, going, "You was a good grandfather."
Yeah. Yeah. She has a funny way of wording things.
Like, damn it! Well, this stream's not over yet.
We're still here.
It's dead. No, no. That's all. Actually, yeah. I will be there for Rhoda. I will be glad to make some checkbox at Will's, and I'm always glad to support you guys, of course. And I will make my AI music at times, but at the moment I don't. Yeah, I got really upset last week, and I did nothing but be a stupid cunt most of the time.
Hey, I have those moments. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to say the right thing, but some real asshole words come out of my mouth, and I'm like, "Fuck, I can't take that back." it. I'm not gonna lie, that I do that sometimes, but I really don't mean it. It's just I'm an irritable person, and sometimes it just bam, there it is.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I got really
Well,
upset with the burning of the woman thing, and it bleed through all my actions for some days. I was really irritable and kind of nasty. And I did some mistakes, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
well, as far as me personally, I am always going to be a co-host on Noise Pollution on Monday and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, or do I have it backwards? Yeah, no. Anyway, yeah, Monday and Thursdays I'm going to be doing this. So that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, and there's still in the planning, thinking process of it. Uh, thought about doing this whole other thing because actually, before we got into this whole thing as we were doing on this show, we were actually we actually there for a short stint ran a mysticism business, but I'm not gonna get too in depth with that. We actually made way more money on that than we ever made on YouTube. But
Yeah, and we helped a lot of people too in the
yeah,
along the way.
Can I
yeah,
ask a
that
question?
was some good money.
Can I ask you a question? If you're going to the supernatural and mystic stuff, do you want to have someone like me on the show who has more of a deflecting mind at it, but still open, or would I be a bother? I mean, that's your decision, but I will offer my time because I personally think having someone who as a first instinct trying to explain it another way is valuable in the sense of giving a more of a counter argument, but end of the day being still open to it. Because here's the thing: all my life I
Yeah.
wish to have contact with the supernatural things or mystic things like that, because I think life is boring and bleak and very violent and very generic and gross. Fearful humans are the cause of it. Um, I
Well,
wish
yeah,
there would be more.
it's a possibility. I mean, a
No, no,
residential.
I'm just. You don't, we can talk this in private. It's just. It's very interesting if that would be interesting for you to have a counter argument at times, that is not too discouraging or like you talking bullshit, because that's not what I would do. What?
Says, do you actually think that have a panelist that they don't want on their stream?
Yeah, well, it is about a different stream, where I am the person who is always the first who's calling, yeah, well, that is fake, that is staged, stuff like that. My mind wanders to this at first. I'm waiting. I'm waiting
Well,
all my
I'll just
life.
tell you, it's something to
For
think
proof.
on. Something I'll take into consideration.
No, no, it's okay if you don't get me on. It's just food for thought, so to speak. Having
Mhm.
different voices at the same issue. I will not be disrespectful at all. If you don't know, I was talking with my little brother about alien stuff and supernatural stuff all my life, because he is someone who actually is very much into this, and he is very knowledgeable, and he is also a believer that there is something there. He is a very spiritual person, just like you two are. I cannot help myself that I'm not that a spiritual person at all. I just I needs to prove, I needs to experiences to be sure, and that's something that never happened, but I'm
Well,
actually
I have a
open.
different take on it. I feel like if you've experienced life at all, you've experienced it.
Yeah, I know you said this many times, but I'm still not convinced, sadly enough, because everything that happened in my life, no matter how insane it is and how unnatural it is to others, I can explain on a basis of the
Oh,
reality
look,
of this world
there are
so
some
far.
cases. There are some cases to where because it can be explained doesn't take away that it's actually something.
That's true. I remember, we had a stream with the full panel, and you both talked about driving, and there was a creature that was unrecognizable and scary as fuck. And I believe you, of course, because I don't think that any of you both are liars. But here's the thing: I never had an experience like that, and that's what I'm missing. And that's why I will always
Thanks for coming
kind
by
of
and
be
welcoming.
myself. Bye, my bad. I will come to AK after the stream, if he's still there. Yeah.
I think he will be.
Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close here.
I'm sorry I dragged it out.
So I'll just say, as always, everybody out there, keep bringing the noise, cause we sure will. But I also will encourage you to not just bitch, moan, and complain, and then not take any kind of action. You need to make a stand, a solid stand, and don't ever back down and be vocal. Don't when you're called on, don't be like, oh, I'm just gonna be quiet now. Have some strength of character.
Have a spine.
And you'll see us again if you are watching. You'll see us again Thursday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Any other time, do your own conversion. And later.
Watch this, you're gonna love my nuts. Watch this, you're gonna love my nuts. Watch this, you're gonna watch this. You're gonna watch this. Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. You gotta
Watch me.
Watch me fuck something.